Welcome to Hardly Initiated. It is your host, Tyshawn Jackson, and my co-host, Ryan Ketchens, and she is back.
Big facts.
Dr. Spirit is in the building for Soul Ties Part 2, helping us break these soul ties and trauma bonds. Let's get to it. Welcome to Hardly Initiated. It is your host, Tyshawn Jackson, my co-host, Ryan Ketchens.
I can already tell, man. It's going to be a powerful one right here.
You need to watch too.
Like that.
I discovered porn when I was a child. My mom.
To get that white man's oxygen out of him. Pursued me, I ran.
The brother I want don't care.
This is dope.
I need to have a threesome. There you go.
We are back.
Yeah, this is special because the last time we got together and did this, it was incredible. I'm talking about, we still getting emails and DMs from that. Literally, it was lives changed, tears shed.
Oh.
Yeah, that's just what happens
the
when
word.
Dr. Spirit hit
I
the,
agree.
hit the
I agree.
stage.
I can only imagine the
Y'all
impact.
hype me up.
No, it's legit. I mean, we were just telling you off camera.
Yeah.
You are our top guest, favorite guest. They like, hey, if I don't watch any episode, I'm watching when y'all bring on Dr. Spears. So,
That's
yeah.
your favorite rapper right there.
I agree.
Absolutely.
All right, let me jump off this pedestal real fast because no pressure there.
No, first of all, Dr. Spirit, welcome back to Hardly Initiated. Okay?
I can't believe how long it's been. I missed you guys.
Likewise,
Oh, man.
likewise.
We missed you and more. Listen, the people missed you, all right? This is part 2 of the Soul Tie series. If you already seen part 1, drop a me in the chat. I want to see how many people are staying in tune with what's going on. The Soul Tie series, y'all, we trying to get y'all up out these toxic-ass relationships that y'all in, and we trying to break y'all free, all right? So y'all will be free at the end. Stay tuned. We got some special giveaways happening here in the episode as well. And the community, this episode is for you. So the hotline will be opened up. We will bring you on, and we're going to get active
I get to
today
talk
here in
to
this
people
episode.
live?
Oh yeah. That's our favorite thing.
This is my, yes.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of emails. So we send out an email. Listen, guys, the community is growing. We got about 30,000 emails now. We probably should not have sent out that email because the amount of people that says, no, I got one for Dr. Spirit.
Yes.
Come on.
Was
Okay, so
incredible.
we got to hurry up because we got to get through as many as we
That's
can.
what I told them, guys. So you know what? This is the thing. We're not going to open up the hotlines until about, I would say, 20, 25 minutes maybe, something like that.
Yeah.
But instead, I'm going to drop the actual link so y'all can go ahead and get piled in there and make sure you follow
Lord.
the instruction because we want y'all to be ready when Dr. Spirit get ready to take off.
Come on, let's go.
Absolutely.
Yes.
First of all, I saw Dr. Spirit drinking her coffee when she first came in. I said,
good
perfect, because we about to run Dr. Spirit tired tonight because this is a busy woman. You're doing some great
You
things.
can't make me tired. I love this. That's why I was like, coffee, let's go. It's the second half of the day. That's pregame. Let's go.
Woo!
Baby.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do it.
Hey.
You can't make me tired. Y'all gonna have to ask me to leave. You know how it works.
It's gonna go down. And the thing about it is we really been needing you because, I didn't know how much I love psychology.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And I'm reading all of these things, psychology of the subconscious mind, psychology of this, psychology of this. And I'm like, and now I realize I only want to study it's like my favorite subject is
Yes.
psychology, right? And we, I'm be honest, I think the show got a little bit too Christian. I think it got a little bit too
Did it?
Christian because
What is too Christian?
too Christian is when all of the resolution comes to you need to know Jesus. Not to say
I
that
got you.
is not true.
No,
because
there's a marriage between the two.
exactly.
But you're existing in the world, and he created you in his image if you believe in Christianity, but
Right.
not everybody does. And that doesn't take away from anybody else's spiritual principles or their religious principles too. So we all need principles for how to live, but psychology is the study of our thoughts, feelings, and behavior. So if you can really study it and learn you, then you learn everybody else, and you can be lethal in curating the life that you want to live.
Why don't they teach us that in school?
I know.
It's like when you were studying psychology in school, I thought, what a waste of time. This don't
Listen.
have nothing to do
Because
with
they taught it too late, and they
Right.
taught it as some elective instead of this is food for your soul, this is food for your mind, this is food for your relationships.
Yeah.
Because the reality is that every single thing that we do begins and ends with relationships, beginning with the relationship that we're having with ourselves, beginning with the relationship you having with Jesus or Muhammad or Buddha or whoever you subscribe to, right? Everything that we do is a form of relationship. And if you can't understand that, then you can't understand the quality of the relationships you're creating, how and why you're doing it, and then you think life is happening to you instead of you are the one that is driving every single thing and every single experience that you're having.
Broken down like a true master.
Like
I'm
the
tell-
G
I'm
she
telling you, come
is.
The Jesus of psychology.
Like the G she is.
No. Listen, don't clip that up. Don't clip that up, okay?
Let me tell y'all. So, we gonna have a really, 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 really deep conversation tonight, and it's gonna be fun at the same time because it's around you guys. I want you to send your super chats in. Any super chat over 10, we're gonna read it live on the screen. I want to hear your thoughts, so feel free to send it in. But we're gonna go ahead and start the show. Keep in mind, let's go ahead and tell them our show. Look, Hardly in Love,
guys. You
it's
gotta
still
get
the
these.
sponsor of the show.
Hardly
Okay.
in Love.
Matter of fact, wow. It's been a
we didn't
while
have-
since Dr. Spirit been
We
on the
didn't
show.
have the cards when you were here.
Not hardly in love.
Incredible. So those are yours. Absolutely, those are yours, and we got 2 for y'all too.
Okay.
As many, Dr. Spirit, as many as you need. Okay.
Just give
Game
'em
night,
out.
Yeah.
game night, date night, 100.
I got to review them. I got
open-ended
to see what
questions.
y'all hitting at. I want to see.
Oh, only the best. Only the
Yeah.
best.
Okay.
Let me say,
yeah.
now it's not going. You know, I would say it's going to get 7 out of 10 of the scrubs away. But some of those scrubs, they really sneaky. Some of those toxic young ladies, they really sneaky. But this is the first layer, okay?
Absolutely.
And Dr. Spirit is about to take us a little bit deep, a lot deeper, so you can get the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 10th layer, so you can make sure you keep the bad juju away.
Yeah, because see, scrub 8, 9, and 10 is the one you really want, and you just won't be honest with yourself about it. That's why it doesn't get rid of them.
That's
We'll
true.
talk about it. We'll
That's
talk about
true.
it. Let's go.
So, hey, Lano, let's go ahead. Take us into our first segment, y'all. We going into the X-Files family. Let's get it.
Ooh, what is this?
So, y'all already know what's happening right here,
Yeah,
y'all.
Wait,
see,
I
listen.
don't. What is this? He done pulled out a briefcase and some gloves.
Because this is classified
Yeah.
information, okay? Our people has sent us in their stories. All right, so Ryan got to make sure
Man, these
he
gloves be
keep
so
the
hard to
prints.
get on. We got to
look,
get some.
He can't even put it on.
How you put this thing?
Got them
You
fat
can't even
fingers.
have fingerprints. You don't even want to
Oh,
touch
yeah,
it.
definitely,
You know what?
definitely.
This is G14 classified.
G14
It is.
classified.
The only thing is we got to get some custom gloves because my gloves really be tweaking over here.
What did OJ say? If it don't fit, you must
It must have
have
quit. Must have quit.
It wasn't me.
I'm just
It
gonna
wasn't
slap
me.
them on, even if I gotta rip them up, because they got on me last time by not putting these on.
got
But the
them
thing
OJ.
is,
Yeah,
the
go
stories
ahead.
get so crazy.
You got to dust them with the powder first.
Oh, it's so crazy, guys.
Okay.
Look at my
First of all,
fingers.
that's
Look at my fingers.
ratchet. Y'all, listen. So first of all, send some super chats so we can get some gloves that fit over here.
But this is the thing. I want to shout out to all the niches because, like I said, we sent out the email. We got so many of y'all sending us messages for us to take care. This is kind of weird. For us to take care, for us to have Dr. Spirit take care of you. So Lano,
Look,
go
that's
ahead
a
and
whole
put.
show in and of itself.
The thing is, what it is, I think once you put them on once, it's hard to put them on again. But no worries. Lano, show us that email real quick.
Yeah.
That's what I got for you. This is from one of our lovely initiates. I'm going to make sure to
Okay.
take this one nice and slow.
Well, I
So,
should've brought
Shout
my
out to you,
glasses.
Summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Spirit, you ready for this one?
Yes, let's go.
What's up, guys? My name's Summer, and I've been in back-to-back toxic relationships. Okay? The worst was a 5-year nightmare with a man I met at work. I thought he was fine, left my number in his locker, and from there, my life spiraled. At first, it felt like love, dates, late night calls, but then he started disappearing for days or weeks with excuses that somehow always added up. 4 months in, I asked where we stood, and he told me he wasn't ready for a relationship, but I stayed. I was hooked. Our sexual connection and soul tie had me trapped. One day, another woman messaged me claiming she'd been sleeping with him for years. I confronted him, and he spun some story about her being crazy. He said that he loved me, telling me he wouldn't let anyone else have me, even if it meant breaking up my future relationships.
Damn.
I believed him, but it wasn't until I found a condom in his jeans and chased him through the streets that I realized how deep I was in. The last time I saw him, he smashed my head into a car, told me to give up, and that he had another woman in the car. I kept going back for years until God freed me from him. Soul ties are real, and I hope this helps someone break free from the same cycle I was in.
So here's what I want to talk
This is
about.
nuts.
Because this episode, the first episode, we went into the who, what, where, why around the soul tie.
Right.
Breaking down what it is. But we want to go backwards here a little bit.
Okay.
Because when we talk about these toxic relationships, especially one like this sister was in, what is something that a woman is going through that would make a relationship or will put her in a situation where she's even open to a relationship like that?
Trauma, disorganized attachment, anxious attachment, right? We don't just find ourselves in those kind of relationships. We actually choose them either because they feel familiar, either because they're feeding something, either because they're keeping us from what it is that we really want, but we don't believe that we're worthy of, that we're desirable of. So we won't do the work to really separate ourselves. And then it's real easy. If I just say it's a soul tie, then there's nothing else I can do. Right. I'm just saying it's a soul tie. There's nothing I can do. But think about it like this, right? The soul tie, just the phrase. I was talking to you off camera a little bit about just this idea that oftentimes we don't even have an understanding of what it is that we're talking about. And so when we talk about soul ties, we talk about it like it's one of those biblical principles. But show me the word soul tie anywhere in the Bible.
Right.
Like literally show me one scripture that talks about soul tie. It doesn't. And what we do is we tend to infer. We look at things like Corinthians when it talks about two becoming one flesh and all of these other things. But if it's true that a soul tie happens the minute that you lay down with somebody, then can a soul tie ever be broken? Because you can't undo the sex. So when you talk about a soul tie, what you're really talking about is, and we only talk about the negative soul ties that we want to break. We don't talk about the positive ones. We have tons of different soul ties with people, and they're not all sexual either. But what she's talking about is, how do I break this connection? How do I break this bond? How do I break this intense yearning and feeling and desire that keeps me going back to a person that I know abuses me?
Right.
And usually it goes back to trauma. So what I would want to know from her is where earlier intimate partner relationship.
Wow. So you're saying if you grew up in an environment where somebody would say, I love you, but might abuse you with their words, sexually abuse you any other way, that might be something that you grow up and see as the norm.
It is your norm. You just said if you went through that since you were a child and then you're still going through it in your adulthood, it is the norm.
That's just life.
Wow.
Yes. And so and the hard thing about that is in childhood, you don't get to choose who you are in relationship with in terms of the adults around you.
That's so true.
You are subjected to that. So if you have a parent or a caregiver, a sibling, a babysitter, someone who is in your life who abuses you on one hand, but you also have affection for because you love them, then it becomes a very confusing relationship. And what you learn is to take love and abuse in the same places.
Got it. And by the way, I want to make sure the sound is good because some people actually just said the sound went out. I want to make sure y'all give me a thumbs up if the sound is good. Let's get Dr. Spirit's mic up because y'all got to get this tonight.
Let's turn all levels up. And then don't forget you got controls on the eCam as well. Absolutely. Now, well, because we want to follow up because the thing, guys, I want to show you this. So we took that email, okay? So this is the email that I read. So we took it and we abbreviated it. Okay. Now, this is the email that was actually sent. Okay.
There's a back on there too.
Yeah. Oh, and the back. Okay.
So it's much to this email. Now, when I'm reading these and we getting these long emails, the first thing I think is, this is a lot.
Oh, that's a little.
That's a little.
Believe it or not, that's a little. That person engaged in what we call narrative therapy. And that was probably one of the few times that they have told that whole story. So sometimes it feels like verbal diarrhea because what they're doing is they're finally starting to process. They're finally starting to connect the dots between what they felt, what they thought, and what they experienced. And so as they're doing it, they're literally just getting it out. So as she wrote that, what she literally was doing was processing what that entire experience was. And I'm guaranteeing if there was actually a question, which it probably wasn't,
right.
If there was actually a question, it was probably the very last sentence.
Well, I mean, you directly on with that. So I can imagine. So she wrote it, and afterwards she probably went through all the emotions
while she was doing it. And then when she hit send, it was like, because she got relief in the moment.
You know, what I don't know if we captured it here, but that was a 5-year relationship from start to finish. And the long version of it, because I read the long version of it, it was filled with a bunch of lies. It was filled with a bunch of betrayal, inconsistencies in what the brother was saying and what he was doing. And it's so evident, especially as a man. To me, it's like so common sense that that's not what you do.
Okay.
So when you see a woman who has put herself in this situation that is obviously, in my perspective, toxic and stays in for so long, does the intensity of the trauma of your childhood have anything to do with your pain tolerance in adulthood?
Oh, absolutely, because by then you're disconnected. There was no lie greater that he told than the lies that she told to herself. Not a single lie. There was no inconsistency that he engaged in that was more inconsistent with the back and forth that she engaged in that relationship. But what happened? Oh, wait, I hear myself.
There you
okay,
go.
there
That's
we go.
Lionel.
Okay,
You're getting
so
the sound right back there. You're getting the sound right
I
back
love
there.
it. I love it. So what you have to know is trauma traumatizes the brain. It distorts our way of thinking. And so by the time you get to your adulthood, you're an expert in being in distorted and toxic relationships. You have exercised and become an expert at using every single defense mechanism you can think of, from justification to rationalization to denial. Like if you were to get into that, if we could actually talk to her and we could ask her about the stories that she told herself about the behavior, even when she knew the truth, then she would kick into the thing that allowed her to stay. And she would say, I know. You don't even have to tell me. And then when he did that, yeah, I know, but I wanted to believe, right? Because there's an alternate version of the relationship that she thought she was holding out for. So every time he showed her who he was, she just wanted to believe that it could be different.
Wow.
It's
It's
hard
such
to
an
know.
odd thing too, because he was stating that, hey, I love you, but I don't want to be with you. So he was literally giving her these oxymorons.
He was giving her what she needed to stay.
Yeah.
But also then showing her exactly who he was. And he told her very clearly, you're going to be mine. I'm not yours.
He did.
I don't want a relationship with you. I'm not ready for a relationship. And the crazy part about it, if you really want to get into what's crazy, is that the only time that he actually denied her, at least according to her version, is when he was entertaining another woman in the car.
Now he was
Right?
like, yo, I'm done.
Right. But he wasn't.
Right.
That's just, he knew that he could abuse her in that particular way. He had to do that because he was trying to stay with both people. He knew he could come back to her later on and tell her whatever story. She was already caught up in the toxic cycle, but he couldn't risk the other woman because he had already told her the story that she was the one that was crazy.
What are some of those lies? Because I think a lot of these lies that we believe, keep us chained. And that actually came up on the last, show as well. We talked about it. These lies keep you tied.
It's not the lie, though. It's the lie that we tell ourselves, because the real deal is we are waiting for the relationship to yield us the fantasy that we've created. It's not the relationship that we're having. It is the relationship that we are trying to get to. So we're holding out for it. We're believing for it. We're praying for it. We're trying to figure out what do we need to do in order to get there. And so the person really could tell us, I'm not where I want to be. The person could be honest with you. But if you're still invested in trying to make that relationship work, you will stay and keep pouring into your investments, trying to get the return on the investment.
Yeah.
And so that's why people stay. I'm not staying in a bad relationship with you because I want to be in a bad relationship. I'm staying in this relationship with you because in my mind, there is some version that is amazing and incredible. We just haven't gotten there yet. That's it.
Wow.
So you really pretty much you just married to this fiction.
It's the
novel.
delusion. It's the fantasy. And the hard part is most of us don't even realize that the person that we're trying to get to that place with doesn't share the same vision. We don't even talk about what the fantasy is. We're just trying to get there. We don't even realize they don't even know what the version of the relationship is that we're trying to have with them.
Ooh.
But we have every expectation of them fulfilling that fantasy. So we stay trying to push, trying to beg, trying to plead, trying to have them understand without ever stopping to say, hold up, let me tell you the version of forever that I'm trying to get to. And now you tell me, does that work for you? And are we going towards the same forever?
Damn.
That ain't the conversation that they having.
right.
I promise you it's not. It's I feel this way about you. I believe you feel this way about me, or I want you to. So either I'm going to stay in this and do everything that I can to try to get you to, or you told me what I wanted to hear and I'm believing you for it, even if it doesn't match. And then we're just going to keep pretending and we're just going to keep moving in that direction.
So you know what? It's a question. When women are confused, you can tell a woman's confused because it's that famous question a woman always asks in a relationship.
What are we?
What's the question?
What are we?
She ain't confused.
Well,
She is not confused.
So when a woman says, "What are we?"
She is looking for you to either confirm or reassure or get very clear on now we need to have the conversation. Because if she was clear about it and if she thought that you were on the same page as her, she wouldn't be asking, right? What she's really saying is, tell me that we are the version that I'm standing here for. Tell me that you want me in the same way that I want you. I'm looking for the confirmation. I'm looking for you to finally tell me what this is going to be. Because either then, a healthy woman, if we are not what I want us to be, because how are you going to define for me what we are? This has to be an agreement. You don't get to tell me what we are. Right? Yeah. It is a consensus that we have to come to. Are we doing the same type of relationship? But if you're telling me what are we, then you are defining this relationship for me. So then I'm just along for the ride with you.
Wow. And guys, if you just now tuning in, we actually read, it's the X-File segment. We actually read an X-File from Summer, who was in a toxic relationship for over 5 years with
beyond toxic.
Beyond
that was
toxic.
Abusive.
Oh, yeah, it was abusive.
Beyond toxic. And tuning in, I don't think we even told Dr. Spirit this. This is part 2 of our Soul Ties Chronicles. So guys, if you just tuning in, we had part 1 on Wednesday. This is part 2. Yeah, really breaking into the psychology of soul ties.
Absolutely. The trauma, the coming up. And by the way, if you were one of those ladies that ever asked that "where are you" question, put a me in the chat. Let me just get
they
a
all
feel
ask
where
that.
are you?
For what?
When there's confusion. And when you operate in the player phase or whatever you want to call it,
That's good.
whoredom, player phase, whatever.
Oh yeah.
That's what that's going to come up maybe around the 1 to 3 month mark. It's going to be the what are we now?
And you got to know how to answer that.
That's dang my time ran out. Because see, listen, when a man wants you, he is intentional. You don't got to ask what are we. When he wants you, you will be like, okay, bro, I'm going to need you to give me like 50 feet. Like, hold on.
Yeah.
Because he's going to be full court press. If you got to ask, he's not where you are. So then ask the real question that you want to know, not where are we.
Man, let's actually go ahead. You already dropped the link, y'all. If y'all want to go ahead and come up, go ahead and come backstage because I'm gonna go ahead and start getting the family up here because y'all got some stories.
It looks like Summer has joined the chat. So Summer's in it for the chat. I'm curious, Todd. Back in your toxic days, did you ever make a? He's reformed. He's reforming now.
I'm reformed.
Was there a point where you ever told a woman something like what Summer heard, which is, "Hey, I'm the only man. I'm the what do you say? Like I'm the only man that you're gonna be with," or "Hey, I love you, and regardless of who you date next, it's always gonna be me."
A version of that.
What was the version?
So what I would say is I'm not ready for a relationship right now, but I definitely still want to keep you around or keep you in my life or whatever version that is. It's like you pretty much deny what they want, but you say what you want.
You put the carrot in front of the horse, right? And
there
you
go.
There's a possibility if you stay and just keep doing it like this, you might get what
and you string
want.
them along.
Yeah.
And honestly, if
like
you do
mine's
this
forever type of thing.
And really, all a woman needs is 1% of hope. If she wants you bad enough, she just need 1% of hope.
Folks like that, you know what?
Yeah,
you
I
can keep
know.
her on the edge of her seat for as long as you want.
You know
especially
why?
if she's in one of those traumatic situations.
Because then what y'all always say in the end is, you knew what it was. You knew what it was from the beginning.
I told you I ain't want no relationship. I told you.
And you act like she's crazy, and you convince yourself that she's crazy.
But she tripping.
She's tripping.
You gaslight her, and then because you gaslight her, then you don't even have to do the work anymore. She starts to gaslight herself. Well, he did tell me. He never did promise me, which then makes her stay. Because now she feels like she's tripping and she's wrong. So then you buy yourself even more time, right? Again, it's the lies that we tell ourselves because we are literally trying to fulfill a fantasy that meets the needs that we have.
Deep manipulation.
Ooh.
And let's listen. Go ahead and run that hotline. And I wanted to address this real quick too, because the crazy what the guys and even the ladies accept, the other woman accepts the other, the first woman is being crazy. When does the crazy pop in? Like, at what point? Because she said she chased this dude around the city. Yesterday, or 2 days ago, when we had Tiffany and Tara on, we had Larissa saying she is at the point where she went over the guy's house and ended up in the back of a police car.
Yeah.
See.
So this is like very much so passion about getting what they want, this relationship, what they want. So when does that kick in? When does the crazy, so to speak, kick in?
Well, it's I like to say we have to qualify what we consider crazy, right? Because some of it you might say crazy, other parts is pathological, meaning there's some mental health conditions that are going on at that part, and some of it is just this behavior that becomes so impulsive and so driven that we get into a situation where we go, okay, now I'm doing things that this is stalker tendencies, right? But it doesn't just go to all of a sudden I'm doing that. It's that I've already started to do other things. I was already going through the phone. I was already going through the emails. I was already driving by where I knew they would be to see if their car was there at the gym or by their house. I was already just kind of like posted up because I needed to see if they were where they said they were going to be, if anybody else is with them, anybody coming out of those places with them. So we wind up in these situations, and then what happens is we get so impassioned by what we see that we get overwhelmed by the feelings, whether it's jealousy, whether it's resentment, whether it's neglect or embarrassment. We get into a place and we go, this has me acting out of character. It's because you are so emotionally invested and so emotionally tied to an outcome that you're not getting that it causes you to intensify your behavior and act out of character.
Wow.
Turn into a straight psycho. So you really do get crazy.
You do.
At that
They're
point.
not a psycho. They're going to get these terms.
First
You
of
just
all,
get
you pulling
emotionally-
up to a man's house.
You think
Impulsive.
brothers don't do it?
No, they psycho
Oh,
too.
they do. They do.
When you
They-
say
yeah.
that, it's not psycho,
Okay,
right?
okay.
We have to use
we got
the
a
right
therapist here.
terms.
I
You
can't-
got
I
a
can't just throw
therapist
words
here.
out.
Right, exactly.
I got a therapist here.
We can't pathologize everybody. But what it is honestly, it's a lack of coping skills. It's a lack of conflict resolution. It's a lack of emotional regulation. It's a lack of effective communication. We don't know how to manage what it is that we're feeling, and so we explode and bleed on other people.
Wow.
That's literally what it is.
That's really what it is.
So you call it psycho.
He calls it psycho.
Right. And
Psycho
Tiffany,
is short
Tiffany
for
just come,
psychosis,
Right.
and so that's why I can't let you just
okay.
And look,
pathologize.
That's the hood
Part
version.
3, we
Yeah,
got
they're not
Tiffany Buckner
psychotic.
coming on. She's gonna call it a demon.
Facts.
And we got to get
There
them
you
demons
go.
up out
There
y'all,
you
okay?
Facts.
Right. So look, let's go ahead and run the hotline, Alano.
Absolutely. Let's get it.
I know when that hotline blink, that can only mean one thing.
We actually got Summer backstage. This is exciting. Way to get back here, Summer. So go ahead, Summer. Let's go ahead. Lano, can we go ahead and bring Summer up on the stage? Because we're going to just get some additional detail. Because you actually said some things about her childhood. And I want to see how true that might be. Because we get into the root
or her past relationships.
of the solution
remember.
here. Past relationships as well.
Mm-hmm.
What up,
Summer,
Summer?
wow. What's up?
Hey guys.
Summer, let me tell you,
Summer,
when I
you
read,
look happier and
Right.
healthier. Hallelujah.
Thank you.
I'm blown away too. I thought that was a black woman story, Summer.
Oh, why? You think it's just us?
I just thought that was one of my sisters, but you're right.
So you immediately saw a black woman.
I shouldn't have said that.
See
No.
Ryan,
But I
toxic
want
as hell,
I
y'all.
want you to recognize the bias because
Wow.
this is why so many groups of people don't get help either, right? Because we have so much guilt and shame to think we don't do that. We don't feel that. We don't experience that. And then you will have whole groups of people who will be locked into these toxic, unhealthy, violent, dangerous situations because of all of the bias that we have. So I'm glad that you said it.
Wow, that's a good point.
I'm glad you said it.
I learned something.
And how many other people thought that? How many other people saw a sister getting her head bashed in? And how do we know that she's not even a sister? We don't even know.
Honestly,
We haven't even asked her how
I
she
think that's a really
identifies.
great poll.
Right.
How many people thought Summer's story was a black woman's story? I'm gonna drop
and
that.
can I ask, Summer, do you identify as a black or African American woman, or how do you identify?
No, I'm white. I'm 100% white.
There we go. Well, listen, baby
You
girl,
said, "Don't
you
get it."
might, you might not be 100%. I got to see the ancestry. Listen,
Hey, look.
you American, listen. Most of us ain't 100% nothing.
No, that's facts. That's facts. Well, look, Summer, I appreciate you coming up in here and joining us.
For sure.
And have you caught the beginning of the conversation?
Yeah, I did. There was one part where it kind of cut out, but I heard most of it. And literally, like, as she's talking, I was like, you're just telling my whole life. Like, you're literally everything I was feeling, saying everything, especially when she said, like, how y'all said the email was long and she said that was therapy. Like, that truly was like the first time I've sat and really played out the entire situation, like that I've really actually thought about it, because I've put it away for so long. I mean, I've been in therapy and worked through it, but to really, like, as a saved person, as a saved woman, to realize what I went through and what I accepted, is it hits completely different than just before I was saved. So yeah.
So let me ask you this, because when we go back into your childhood or in past relationships, Dr. Spears said something that was, I thought, powerful. When you got this brother telling you one thing and doing another, I love you, and clearly abusing you, clearly lying to you. At one point, your head got bashed into the vehicle. It was getting real ratchet in that relationship. Have you ever experienced that in past relationships or in childhood, with people telling you they love you and showing you or abusing you in different ways?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I grew up in a 2-parent household, but my dad worked like 18-hour shifts, 20-hour shifts. He would work a couple different jobs at a time. My mom was basically a single mom, but my mom grew up in a very toxic household. So she was not the best to me and my sister. She was my first bully. You know, my mom always said how much she loved us and she would be there for us and all of that. But a lot of times, like, my household was toxic. It was just constantly toxic. And a lot of the relationships, even before I met him, I had already been in probably 2 to 3 different toxic relationships. So to me, it was like, the thing with him that made it different than the other relationships was honestly the sexual part of it, because that was the first time that I ever felt love sexually and physically, because I honestly didn't get a lot of love, like, physically in my home. Like, I didn't really hug my parents. We didn't really, like, kiss or do anything like that. So it was the first time I felt like a man that I had been with, like, actually loved me physically, and that just hooked me so different. So to have you know, how she said about how what you hear in your childhood is what you take into your adulthood, was exactly that. Like, I constantly told myself, well, obviously I can't get a better relationship than this. So yeah, like, obviously this is all that I'm ever going to get. So I'm, like I said, I'm going to do everything that I can do to make this work. And even though, you know, I heard him say, well, I'm not ready to be with you or whatever, those times where he did take me out and he did spoil me, or he told me he loved me, like, those were the things I was hanging on to, like she said, like, the fantasy, to just live out the fantasy. So
And so, see, we talking street terms in the streets. That's what we call dickmatized right there.
Okay, so then let me give you the dickmatized part, because she didn't say the dick was good. Can we say that?
You can say whatever you want to say. Dr. Spear got the green light.
Well, you know, we talk about all of this,
you
right?
You healing.
I meet people where they are. So, but this is not what she didn't say dickmatized, because she never said the dick was good. But what she did talk about was something that looks like biological drug addiction, because she had never had the physical contact that actually gave her the dopamine, the oxytocin, and all the other things that come along with when you are having sex with someone. Your body is releasing hormones that, if she never experienced those hormones before, that literally made her high, that literally altered her brain chemistry. And she probably spent the rest of that relationship chasing the ghost, because anytime she wasn't feeling it, it was like, I'm going to lose that feeling. I'm going to lose that high. So you add the sex into that, and all of a sudden, I don't want to lose this. That could be anybody. That could be any person that can make you feel like that. And that becomes very, very dangerous. So you talk about soul ties. It's not a person all the time. It's a feeling. So you have to be really careful about who you engage as you go forward.
Never
Because if
consider
you're dealing
that.
with neglect, there's a deficit, there's a deficiency. All of a sudden that starts getting fed, and you want that all the time.
So you a drug addict, straight drug addict at that point.
Well, most of us are. Most of us are chemical addicts, period. I mean, whether it's the natural hormones or whether it's the, the coffee, so you got the caffeine, or the melatonin that helps you sleep because you can't produce enough, or the alcohol that helps you just kind of get rid of the anxiety, or the nicotine that helps you suppress things. Like, we are all chasing things in order to have a particular mood or a particular feeling in our body. So then when we get that and we identify that or associated with a person, we think our tie is to the person, but it's really what is created between us and the person.
Damn. Summer, I got a question. She's breaking it down. I got a question for Summer real quick, because I'm curious. When all of this is transpiring in your relationship, you're dating a guy on and off for 4 or 5 years. Where is your family, your friends? Like, do they know that these things are going on, that you're having this tumultuous relationship, or was it completely secret from everyone?
Yeah, so within like the first year is really when I felt like we were together, but we weren't together. Like, it was the off and on, I want to be with you, I don't want to be with you, whatever situation. So in that span of time, like, my family knew what was going on. And like, when I got my head smashed into the car, that was like a little after the year mark, when I had found out about, like, officially found out about the other women and stuff. After I got my head smashed in or whatever, I stopped telling people about me going to see him because I was so ashamed that I couldn't give up. Like, literally the time after I went and saw him, like probably a month or so after the whole car incident happened, I literally went with a knife in my pocket, but I still like couldn't let go of him. Like, I was terrified to go see him. I didn't know what was going to happen, but I still just couldn't let go. So for me, it was like every once in a while someone would find out about it, but my family would just try to, talk me out of it. And I couldn't make them understand. So I would say within the first like year and a half or so, people knew. But after that, I tried everything to keep it as secret as possible.
First of all, visiting a man with a knife, I've never heard that.
Oh, then you don't understand. People visit their partners with guns. Ooh. People visit their partners with other people outside. Because it wasn't to hurt him, it was to protect herself, because what she needed was so intense that she was willing to risk that it might be violent in that moment and she might need to fight her way out. I'm going to get my need met, but I also recognize that this has the ability to be violent, and I don't want to die getting my need met, but I really, really need it that much. I need that more than I need this safety. So I'm willing to take the risk. The knife is just risk reduction, right? I can still get out with my life. And she never thought somebody else could love me without all of the violence and everything else, because she has never experienced that as a normal way of functioning in a healthy relationship.
Man, when I tell you, it's levels to it. Because you think about you pull up somebody's house with a knife and a condom.
Anything can happen.
He said a knife and a condom.
A knife and a condom.
You
never know.
Later slave.
I'm trying
or
to,
maybe both.
Or maybe both.
Maybe
both. Right?
Real
maybe
talk.
the slave, it gets so passionate, the slave turn into a lay.
Right.
But listen, real talk. How many people love the fight and the bickering and the violence and the intensity of that, and then wind up having sex on the other side of that, right? Most people will talk about how they love the sex after the argument.
Now, Summer, was that
the intensity is good?
What Dr. Spear just described, was that a part of it as well? Would you have these different
toxic sexapades?
I can't.
Would you have those?
I mean, yeah. What she's describing is 100% true. I mean, it would be spans of time that we would see each other, probably like a couple months or so. But it was exactly that. I mean, we would fight and get into it. We'd tell each other we're done with each other, whatever. And then it was like that sex afterwards was like a drug, because it felt like that connection all over again. Like none of that.
Say it again. It was like a what, Summer?
It was like that connection happened all over
again. It was the word you said. It was the drug, right?
Oh,
because the emotions are so high. I'm leaving you. That's it. It's over. Come here. You're mine. You're not going anywhere. Oh, you love me. You really do. You want to fight for me. All of that, the way it just disorganizes the brain, and it just feels so good to be wanted, and it's so intense, and he's passionate about you and you want him to be passionate about you. The cycle is just so hard to get out of.
Man.
It's so hard to get out of.
That sounds intoxicating.
And then it's hard to go into something
hard.
that's healthy, right? Because then healthy sometimes looks like it's boring. It looks like there's nothing here. It looks like you don't care about me. We're not arguing. We're not fighting. It's just easy. It's natural. I don't know how to do this, especially if I learned that my lover is also my bully, right? To go back to your very first love, that maternal love. My lover is my bully. You're not bullying me. You're not fighting with me. You're not abusing me. You're not threatening me. I don't know if you care about me.
Ooh, yeah, we got a lot of people backstage. We just dropped something in the chat backstage just for my people back there. The initiation hotline is here, guys. So go backstage and please, I want y'all to answer that chat that we just put back there so we can help and know which ones to bring up to the stage. But I hear people say that all the time.
Yeah.
I hear women on the airways, and I think it's just the most toxic and bold thing you could say is that you don't want this boring guy.
Oh, the good guy.
Like, you don't want this guy that's not going to bring some excitement and bring this level of craziness, this toxicity, just so you can stay entertained. Can somebody that's in that mental state ever have a healthy relationship or a long-term relationship?
Yeah, but they got to do the work in order to get to the point where their nervous system staying regulated and not activated actually feels desirable. And you got to look for other ways to get excitement. See, we don't register, that toxic is not the only intense set of emotions that we can feel. Have you ever been in love with somebody so much that like you just want to just sop them up with a biscuit because everything is right? Most people haven't. And so most people haven't done the work to find the healthy, intense love. They only know the negative emotions. That's why we can't even talk about positive soul ties, because we only know the negative ones because they bring so much disaster and damage to our lives and make us feel out of control.
Ooh, man, there you have it. Summer, thank you so much for sending that in. And just so for all of you guys that want to know, the X-Files is something that we run in. So info@hardlyinitiated.com. That's how you can send us over your stories, because we're going to be featuring him here with our experts. Again, that's info@hardlyinitiated.com. And Ryan, we're actually doing a special giveaway for the people. So let's actually go ahead and let them know the giveaway we have, and we'll get back to the initiates backstage, and we'll bring y'all up and keep this thing flowing.
Big facts, guys. So shout out to Anna, who won the last giveaway on Monday. It was funny. During the show, she actually emailed us and was like, oh my God, I'm listening to the show right now. I just won. So she got her promo code for the watch. Shout out to Tally and Twine, the largest black-owned watch company in the world, guys. They very distinct.
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful watches. They do things a lot different, guys. They don't just copy other watch brands. They literally create and craft. I mean, talk about some attention-grabbing timepieces that are sure to set you
Sexy
apart.
pieces.
I need to
Very
talk
sexy
to them
pieces.
about a mental health watch. I love that.
Oh, they'll hook it up. They'll hook it up.
They'll do that.
Yeah, check out the men's
need to
and the
talk.
ladies ones. We got a bunch of them. And guys, we are literally giving away one of these watches every week thanks to Tally and Twine. All you got to do is click the link in the bio. It's a quick survey just letting us know a little bit more about you and what you want to see from Hardly Initiated. Again, don't forget to check out Tally and Twine for your next watch. Link is also in the description. But yeah, Tally and Twine is hooking us up, man. Look, I literally got on my Tally and Twine watch right now. Can you get a close-up on that one, Lano? Yeah, I'm rocking it. You see that? All right, so let me take off these
With the
gloves. We went
gloves.
crazy.
With the gloves. With the gloves.
No, it's dope. It's actually, I mean, as soon as I started wearing it, which was really like a few weeks ago, I started getting compliments on it. It's got like the
It's
little
a conversation starter
yeah,
for
little rose gold
sure.
faces. It's dope.
That's dope. That's dope. Well, Summer, thank you again. Lano, I want to bring up the next person back. How about, can we go ahead and bring up Tiff? We got a Tiff backstage. Let's go ahead and bring, I don't know. I just like the Tiffs, man. I just like the Tiffs.
Yo, Summer's
Absolutely.
story. Listen, y'all got some competition because Summer's story was riveting.
Summer's
I'm
story
talking about.
is riveting.
I wish we could have read. We got to maybe do members only or something to read the whole story.
I just want to say too, when I said that she looked much happier and healthier.
Oh yeah.
Did you notice that she said she's been in therapy?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I just want
There you
y'all to
go.
know.
Matter of fact, she looked too
Therapy
healthy to be on the
heals.
show. Summer,
Therapy heals.
call us back when that next soul tie comes around. I'm joking.
We ain't wishing nothing bad on nobody. No.
Hey, Ryan hella toxic. Did we get Tiffany? Did we get Tiffany here? What up, Tiff? How you living, sweetheart? You got to unmute yourself.
How are you?
Hi, Tiff.
We are blessed. Go ahead and give me, I got your name already. Give me your age, your location, and your relationship status.
I'm 36. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm single.
Ooh, Jacksonville.
She had to think about that. Wait, what was that part? I'm single.
I know. It sound, some soul ties popping off there. What's your question for us tonight, Tiff?
I mean, everything she is saying, it is so good. I just really want to speak on based off of what I've had learned from just breaking away from my the person that I love.
Hold on, quick question. This is not a question. This is a statement.
Yes.
Or is it it's a background to the situation that leads to the question?
There you go, Ryan. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Okay, go ahead.
It's somewhat a question that's, well, too, even after the end of that as well, too. But basically what I want to speak on, what she's saying is right, because she's stepping on all of my toes.
Aww.
So
I got nail polish afterwards. I'll give you a whole manicure and wash your feet, sis. I got you.
Yeah, so I wanted to say, based off of what I learned from, the relationship that I had to walk away from, I had to come to a realization, because most people like to blame people in the relationship based off of what they came out of. And I technically didn't want to blame the person. I wanted to point it at me, not saying that it was my fault, but the fact that, at the end of the day, that I went in that relationship, even though the person told me exactly what it was, like what you just said, they told me they wasn't ready for a relationship or anything of that sort of nature, which I was okay with, at first, but it turned into some other things. And then on top of that, like I told the person, like, I feel like I gave you the wrong intention of me coming in this relationship due to the fact that I allowed you to treat me the way that you treated me. And I didn't like it. But because I have a good heart and I care about you so much, because I'm the type of person, I look at a person that's a good person, even though I may see some bad about you, but I also see the good in the person.
No, Tiff, you see the potential.
That, yes.
Right? You see who they could be instead of dealing with who they are. And so you keep forgiving, waiting to see that person that they have the potential to be.
Right.
So many of us make that mistake.
I know, absolutely. And you are so correct. But definitely, it was definitely the potential. And so I had to let that person know, like, listen, I'm going to set some boundaries. And what I'm going to say to you is I gave you the wrong intention on coming in this relationship and thinking that you could just talk to me any kind of way that you want, and I don't like it. And so with that being said, we either gonna have to go to some therapy, we either gonna have to, do this, do that. But in this case, this person still wanted to be in the relationship, and I was like, no, if we're going to fix this, we're gonna have to go to some therapy, because I feel like we're getting to know each other all over again. Because obviously you don't know me the way you say you know me, and obviously I don't quite know you, but in some instant, I know you, because obviously I'm not trying to point the finger at the person to make that person feel any type of way, because we all are not perfect. I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. So I didn't want to make him feel less of anything. And so basically I just said that, listen, we could go to therapy, but then that person was just like, you know what?
Hold on, Tiff, hold on.
Can I just ask her one question?
Go ahead.
Wait,
because listen, I just want to train all my initiates, because Jesus, Tiff, we gotta be brief and we gotta be brilliant, y'all, because I got a bunch of people I'm trying to heal back here, and I know. Listen, I want to heal y'all life, but I want to save y'all life more. Okay. So we got to get to the questions.
Okay,
all right?
so Tiff,
Dr. Spear, go ahead.
I just want to ask you, was it roughly like 12 to 18 months in when you finally decided, let me tell you, I done taught you the wrong things about me?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. And the reason why I asked that, y'all, is because when we very first start dating somebody and we like them, we get the rush of all of the lustful, loving cocktail, all the dopamine and oxytocin that you hear me talk about. I'm just going to keep explaining to you the science of this. When we like somebody, our brains get flooded with feel-good hormones that create a euphoria that minimize all the things that we don't like, so we don't even see them. It doesn't bother us that much. It's totally fine. Okay, it's like, even though I don't like your dirty drawers right there, but it's so cute. That's so cute how you do that. And then about 12 to 18 months in, the hormone composition changes. It literally changes, and all of a sudden the rose-colored glasses go away. So what was real cute before is like, you ain't gonna keep leaving them. Why you got your stank-ass drawers? Oh, you know what? I've been telling, I just can't do this anymore. And so what you have to recognize is you're love drunk in the beginning. That's why also, you know, and a lot of times we know this, we just don't know what it is. So when we meet somebody and we don't like who our partner is dating, or our friends are dating, or who our family members are dating, we usually go, child, you ain't gonna be able to tell them nothing. They can't hear you. And they literally cannot, because their brains are just bathed in feel-good hormones. And that's all they want to do is keep that high going.
You know what this reminds me of? When we was on the bus, going to homecoming.
Yeah.
The young lady talked about the 7-year itch.
Right.
And how something around that 6th and 7th year, something happens. That sounds like it's connected. Because I can imagine, you talking about 6, 7 years.
Right.
All that's gone.
It's irritability. It's
now
tolerance.
you looking at exactly who this person is, as sober as possible. And you a little irritated.
Yeah.
You're past irritated.
Past irritated.
Yeah, because it takes us roughly, if we're going to get out of a relationship, it takes us about half as long as we've been in it. So the 7-year itch. Oh, you want me to say that again? Yeah. So
say that one more time.
Okay. So it takes us about half as long as the relationship has been going on for us to finally make the decision to leave. So what happens at the 7-year itch is really the problem started roughly about 3 to 3.5 years ago.
Whoa.
But you've already invested. So your return on investment, you're willing to stay about that much longer trying to make it work. So you'll fight, you'll plead, you'll pray, you'll go to therapy, you'll try all of the things before you finally have to realize I can't take it anymore and I give up. So if a couple comes in, they're like, we've been together 10 years. I know usually between year 4 and 6, that's really where the problem started.
That's insane. We was playing Hardly in Love on the bus to homecoming, by the way. So guys, link in the description.
Absolutely.
But what you're saying is blowing my mind, because I mean that seems like it's kind of scary too.
Why?
Because what you hear is that, a man knows in 6 months to a year he's gonna be with this woman for the rest of his life. But now you telling me
he drunk.
But now you telling me that the 12-month to 18-month mark.
Yeah, I tell folks all the time, do not get married. Do not tie any of your finances. Don't have babies. Don't buy pets together. Don't put people on your deeds, your wills. Don't do anything that's lasting until after about 18 months, because then you will see the person more clearly, and they will see you.
That's a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
That's a year and a half. That makes sense.
That I trust.
That makes sense.
That I trust.
It's science.
That sounds practical.
Listen, and when I tell you that it's science, I mean literally, if you were to go to a lab and have your blood analyzed, you would literally be able to see the fluctuations in the hormones. We literally do these things in the labs. You can go find research.
We bringing
about
science
it.
back. We bringing science in this.
And all those toxic
they say don't
dating
trust the scientists. You know, just climate change. Hello.
Right.
Okay.
So guys, don't let those toxic dating coaches scare y'all to marry these women when y'all not ready.
Don't. Most of them need some therapy themselves.
I agree.
I'm just being honest. Most of them need, yeah, they're coaching and they're just projecting and bleeding all on everybody.
Wow.
Yeah, I just whenever you want to deal with an expert, therapist too. So it's not like anybody is above this. But one of the things that I love to have potential clients ask is, how much of your work have you done? Because you can only take somebody as deeply as you yourself have been, and they will sabotage you in your work if they haven't been able to do that work and you start brushing up against their stuff. How can you help somebody with something that you haven't really experienced, or you're not comfortable going to the depths of those places?
I really like that you said that. That actually reminds me.
Call out one of them coaches. Call them out.
First off,
say a name.
I told Tyshawn we about to start calling out some of these
influencers.
folks, because
we got to call out everybody. We got to call out ourselves.
Yep.
I will tell you, I tell therapists all the time, if your therapist don't have a therapist, run. Right. I went to therapy for years. Therapy to me is one of the best things that I will ever do for my entire life.
Yeah.
Right. It is the ride that I can't wait to ride over and over. Hell, I told my therapist, if you ever die, I'm going to bring you back to life and then kill you again my damn self.
I'm like, who is Dr. Spears' therapist? It must be like Dr. Phil or something.
Right.
No.
Oprah?
But Phil is great. No, Oprah ain't a therapist.
Right.
But listen,
Oprah
in all
needs some damn therapy
seriousness,
too.
we all need therapy. Please understand. And in real life, there is no hierarchy. I mean, some of us are more experienced, more qualified, more seasoned, more intuitive, more whatever, or more passionate about the work, right? But at the end of the day, there is no hierarchy. We can all be incredible therapists. You just have to care enough and be invested enough in your craft in order to really show up and show out.
There you have it. Tiff, we still got you actually just kind of like.
I'm so sorry, Tiff. I'm so sorry.
No, that was good, but we needed that. And now I'm thinking about Tiffany. I'm curious because you said the 12 to 18, she started pretty much changing some things. But Tiffany, what was the range of things you started to now communicate? Like, how did you switch it up in what you was communicating to your guy you was dating at the time?
Well, it was because for 3 years back and forth, we've been going back and forth. We break up, get back together, break up, get back together. And so it just came to a point I had to take a realization where I was like, you know what? It's me. You know,
understand,
it's me.
a year and a half, 3 years, that halfway mark. Just pay attention.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was just that. And so my question to you is, due to the fact that I'm making this decision now, it's just the tearing part.
What's the decision? When you say I'm making this decision, what is this decision that you're making?
To actually just leave him alone, because it's been 3 years and I want it to be done, because of course I still miss him. Of course, it's like I think about him, and at the same time
let me give you the shortcut. No, I got you. So you really want to be done with him?
I do.
Okay. So then first and foremost, let me help you understand. You're not going to miss him. You're going to miss the good stuff, the needs that he fulfilled.
Slayer.
It's what he satisfied. And so until you can separate him from the needs that he satisfied, you will not recognize that he's not the keeper of those things. And in the same way that he was able to do that, there are millions of other men out here that will be able to do that without all of the toxic stuff that you sacrificed and dealt with in order to get those needs met. Okay, so what becomes very important is get with a great therapist to recognize what you miss about him. And then also understand this, because a lot of times what we'll do is we won't deal with anybody else. But until you're able to get those needs met and satisfied somewhere else, you're going to always miss him. Because let me give you a real easy hack to this, right? Ryan, what's your favorite food?
Shrimp.
Okay, you heard him, shrimp, right? Is there a particular place that you like to go to get shrimp?
No, not really.
Okay, you don't have a favorite?
No.
Okay, what's your favorite food?
I'll take a nice, good, juicy steak.
Okay, you know a place where you can go to get a nice, good, juicy steak?
Oh, absolutely.
Your favorite place?
I got a couple of them.
Okay, so now let's think about it like this. If I got a place that I go to, anytime that I want steak, anytime I want a nice, good, juicy steak, my brain already knows where to go to get satisfied. She has needs met by this man. So anytime she's longing for that need to be met, anytime I need to feel love, I need to feel excitement, I need to feel nourished, whatever it is the need is, your brain automatically goes, I know where we can go to get it. It's him. So until your brain knows some other options for how to get its need met, anytime that need comes back up to a certain level of intensity, we know where we can go to get it.
Daryl.
So you have to disconnect him in your brain from the satisfier of the need.
Ooh.
Does that make sense? And until you do that, you will always be hooked, because your brain will always know, I know where to go when we need to feel love. I know where to go when we want to laugh. I know where to go when we need somebody to know us just like that. You got to disconnect that, because he is not the only one.
Well, first of all, Tiffany, have you already told him just straight up that I'm done?
1,000,000 times. They done broke up several times. And then she
Hold
go
on,
back.
hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's
Spoiler
up,
alert.
Tiff?
Spoiler alert.
I mean, yeah, I pretty much, it ended weird at the end of the day.
Tiff, how many times has it ended? How many times have y'all broke up?
Might as well say about within the 3 years with the back and forth, I don't know, maybe about 5 times. Then it's like within those 3 years, I can't even keep count. Like,
you want this to be the time. You want this to be the time that sticks.
Yeah, I do want it to be the time, because just like you said, I was hoping for him to, get his act together. But me trying to tell him something that's not it, he's not getting it.
Are y'all still sexually active?
No.
Okay.
So here's the other part, though. You want this to be the last time, okay? So then I want you to stop romanticizing the relationship, because what will happen is your brain will minimize all of the bad stuff in order to get its need met when you miss him. So I want you to make a list of every horrible thing this man has ever said, done, or made you feel. Every single thing you think of it, and you will forget some of it and then be like, oh, I forgot to put that on the list. I forgot to put that on the list. Don't write down anything good, okay? Because we're not romanticizing. We're not going to just give him credit for what he got right. We're going to be real about who he was, okay? So every time you miss him, I want you to pull that list out. Every single time, because you're going to disrupt the pattern of the feel good where your brain starts going, we can go back to get the good juicy steak. We're going to be like, but they had rats. But the line was too long, but they didn't have the steak, but they raised the price. We're going to start thinking about all the things that disrupt the, I got to go there in order to be able to get what it is that I want. Okay?
Right.
Every single time.
And that's so true, because every time I would find myself going back to him, I find myself now, why did I come back to this? Because now I feel like, why did I keep putting myself in this predicament? Because I'm not liking what you're doing, and then it was draining me.
Yes.
What he was doing was draining me. So.
And I'm going to give her one more hack, okay?
These
And
are
everybody else too, okay?
These are really good, by the way, Dr.
You can, I appreciate it, but because I really want her to get this. You have the absolute permission to love him forever if you want to. And you can love him forever, and you can take that love with you and choose to never share it with him. And I want you to hold on to what it is that you feel for as long as you choose to, but recognize I am going to treat him according to who he is, not to who I believe he has the potential to be. So do not ever talk to him. Do not ever interact with him. Do not ever anything unless he is able to show you for a consistent period of time, I mean years, that he is the person that you envisioned him to be. But treat him exactly according to the way he is.
Dr. Spirit, I've been also studying some mental health. And a very important part, another exercise I have for you, is I really, really, really need you to make sure you call him and just say, "Get out of here, you damn nigga!" All right?
Hell
and then
no.
you just hang up.
No.
Right? Say that and just hang up the phone.
That is not a mental health
That's
principle.
all you need to do. And I've been studying mental health, so I know this is true. But Tiff, listen, much love to you, sister. All right, thank you for coming up here and joining us.
Thank you.
I'm going to need you to pull that out of there. Pull that out of the queue. You've got him
definitely
crying.
I thought he was so serious about that.
We do not condone the N-word, and we do not condone re-engagement. All you're doing is setting her up for him to be like, who you talking to? For them to wind up right back in relationship with each other. Hell no. Right?
He had me going for a second.
You got water. Did you spit your water out?
Man, I really thought you was about to.
I'm helping my sister out, man.
I really thought you was about to break down some real great game, man.
Tiff,
you just set your people back.
info@hardlyinitiated.com. Let me know how this goes. Because you know what we're going to start doing, y'all. Because I know y'all ain't breaking up with these men. I know a lot of y'all, some of y'all are, but a lot of y'all not. We're going to start doing these live breakup calls, all right? So if you got a breakup call that you need, send me an email saying, I want some help and some accountability, and we're going to pull y'all up on here, and we're going to break up with these men together, all right? If you got to put me on the phone, put me on the phone. I'll be your distant big brother.
And then I'm gonna have the call a week later. How long did you stay gone?
Exactly.
About 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Lano, go ahead and bring somebody else up from backstage here. The family is backstage. And we are getting it popping here today. We got Dr. Spirit in the building. This is Soul Ties Part 2.
Right.
And we are getting y'all straight. This is a 3-part series, y'all. We breaking these soul ties and getting y'all behind right here today.
And I would love for some of the fellas call in about these soul ties too. We know y'all got some toxic soul ties. Can't stop dealing with that woman that's driving you crazy. And then we got some of our therapists. I know we got some therapists, some counselors, some health professionals in the chat that also need some therapy and some counseling as well. So I would most certainly love for y'all to come on and share those stories, because sometimes we think that people in these positions don't have problems.
Oh, please, we be the main ones trying to figure ourselves out.
I totally believe that.
I'm trying to tell you.
Absolutely. Man. Absolutely. Lana, who you brought up here? What we got?
Welcome back.
D-Dub, you've been up here before.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait.
With Spirit.
You
Yeah.
was up here with Dr. Spirit.
Come on.
Wow. Where?
This is crazy.
That was a while
Hi,
ago.
boo. Hi.
What's up with you, D-Dub?
Oh man, I can't even
Say
say.
I can't call it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and keep this real brief. But the last time I talked to you,
Hold
Dr.
on. I gotta get to know you, D-Dub. Okay,
Yeah.
give me your age, your location, and your relationship status, and then we'll keep going.
And we got to figure out a way to get that clipped up too, so we can bring D-Dub's story from last time she actually had.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
I am 52 years old. I'm married,
Looking
but
like she 12.
Thank you. And I am from suburban Detroit. So now, going back to
Come on.
my status, married but separated. Last time I talked to you, Dr. Spirit, I think at that time it was I guess it was in October last year, sometime in there. And my focus at the time was on the fact that me and my husband, we've been separated, but we
And
were
12 months later, we still separated, D-Dub.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yep. And my focus then was that we were not engaging in any kind of sexual intimacy, nothing, right? And we had separated with the agreement that we would, work on ourselves and also still continue to like date each other and basically try to build a friendship, something that we did not do when we got married. We got married, like I met him in March.
So what year?
built a friendship, something that so just like,
March of what year?
2017.
Okay.
So we've been married for 7 years.
And you guys have been
so
separated how long now?
it is going on 3 years.
So y'all hear that? 7,
Yeah.
3 years separated.
Mm.
Okay.
You called it.
Because it's science. You like science. I want you to get this so you can get your life together.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why I pointed out.
Okay.
Okay. So where are you guys at now with no traction? Have we honored the agreements, the intention of the separation, or where? Oh, she's like, okay. So where are we at then? What's the question?
And my question to you, I'm gonna just get right to it at this point, because I pretty much, like, I was talking to you before about us not having any intimacy, and have now went past that point. Like, it doesn't even faze me anymore.
So what does that mean? I no longer need the sex?
I think I guess well, no, I won't say I guess. I've been doing a lot of praying and just getting my relationship with God more closer and tighter.
But hold up now, D-Dub. The marriage bed is undefiled, and that is biblical. That is in the scripture.
Right.
So when you say this, have we just decided that the sex is no longer going to be important, or are there so many other issues that we can't even think about the sex because we don't even have friendship as a foundation? So much less, I ain't even thinking about having sex with you.
There's so many issues that I truly have not even had the desire anymore, and he hasn't engaged me, and I've been like, okay, I'm all right with that.
So then why are we sitting in a place where we're parked in a relationship committed to somebody who's not going to meet our needs? And how have we become all right with that instead of deciding what there was another podcast where somebody said, don't let a bad husband keep you from a good one. So what are we doing then that we finally have decided I'm all right just sitting with my needs not being met? I'm not being sexually satisfied. I'm not being emotionally satisfied. I'm not being intellectually satisfied. And now I'm in year 3 and I'm just good with it. What is happening in your world that you would be good with not getting your needs met when you signed up to be with somebody for a lifetime to meet your needs?
I have no idea. And I'm totally honest, like I feel so stuck.
Well, I don't know if it's that you're stuck or if you've gone numb.
That could be. Yeah, that's probably a good description, because I feel like at this point he's now telling me that he's so focused on bettering himself. He says he wants to be better for me and his children, and but I'm like,
but that's him. So now let me ask you, because you said when y'all got separated, you made an agreement. You don't know where you are and how you're feeling and why you're stuck. Have you been in therapy for this last year trying to figure? Because see, this don't mean A plus B. This dog ain't hunting. So what have you been doing in order to take care of yourself, in order to move yourself into a space of thriving? While he's doing whatever he's doing, tell me what you've been doing to take care of you.
I've been in individual therapy, and I've just been like, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna focus on me. Like I have totally gotten to a point where he's not even a thought. Like we go days without talking to each other, and
okay. So D-Dub, let me ask you this real quick. Do you want love in an intimate partner relationship? Do you want sex in an intimate partner relationship?
Absolutely.
You want intimacy and meaningful connection?
Absolutely.
Okay, then you and your therapist aren't doing good work, because when you tell me you are focused on you and you just told me there's 4 basic needs that you're not getting met, then how can you be focused on you if you're not getting your needs met? This ain't you focused on you. This is not you being satisfied. This is not you being taken care of. So at some point, we have to figure out, if your goal is to get your needs met and you are sitting right here in a situation that's not meeting your needs, what steps are you going to have to take? And you getting your needs met has to be the non-negotiable. He is the negotiable here. But you always got to be okay with you. So if you have committed to a man who won't even do the bare minimum to meet your needs, then what does that say about what some of your options may need to be? So forget what he's saying. What is he doing? And is what he's doing moving towards the goal of your needs being met? And if not, you don't need anybody's permission, their agreement, or their understanding for you to get your needs met. Because if you're in alignment with the Father, then you already know he intended every good thing for you. And I'm just going to leave that right there. Hallelujah.
So
I am delivered.
I'm going to be honest with you. But see, D-Dub, thank you for being honest, because I think what a lot of us do is we find these situations that we're in, we do not like, and we figure out a way to just find some level of comfortability or normality, probably better, in this toxic situation.
Even if it's just disconnect. I can't change the other person. They won't give me the experience that I want, and I don't want to have to make the hard decision to switch this up. So I'm just going to sit, and whatever I got to do in order to be able to survive, I'm just going to do that. So I'll go numb. I'll just sit. I'll wait. I'll fight. I'll pray, I'll beg, I'll plead, I'll distract myself, I'll avoid, I'll start the cycle all over again. But anything besides me having to make the hard decision to take care of me. And that's what we got to stop doing.
Because why did I go all the way to filing divorce papers? I mean, went to the court, everything, and...
Because you didn't do it to actually file divorce. You did it to get his attention, hoping that that was going to be the thing that finally changed his behavior, so he would finally give you what you want. Ooh. You never intended on getting a divorce. And so you got to be careful, because you don't want to play with it either. Because then you teach him that you're not serious and that he's got you. Right. And that's the cycle that you don't want to get into, because then it's like a chess game, and then you run out of every move, and then it's checkmate. Either you got to proceed with the divorce, or you got to stop playing with it and then require him to stay in it. And if he stays in it with you, then you got to recognize this is who he is. So then you also got to stop complaining, because this is what you're choosing.
So what do you do in a situation where, what's your suggestion for if, you have a man that's telling you that, I'm taking the time to better myself because at the end, his end goal is to be better for you and the family. Like, but
I'd want to know. So you can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. And if you trying to get better, right? Because if
not an option that I'm supposed to just allow you to just be.
But see, D-Dub, look, I'm not even gonna make this about him. I'm gonna make it about you, because I'm not telling you nothing that you don't already know. You just don't want to do it. So can we just get real and let's just talk about the part of you that want to keep this man? The part of you that wants to hold on to this family, the fantasy that you are holding out for, that has you wasting the last 3 years of your life. And if you keep going, another 3, another 3, another 3, your kids are going to age out. Your kids are watching you guys have relationships. You're creating intergenerational trauma. They're going to go into anxious attachment styles, not trusting relationships, not trusting what people do, not trusting what people say, being with people that say one thing and then do something else. You guys are creating this whole toxic cycle of just everybody being stuck in toxicity. For what? If he can't manage a wife and a family and he needs to better himself and he needs time away from you. No, that ain't what it sound like.
What it sound like?
It sound like that man ain't ready to do what needs to happen in order to take care of a marriage and sustain a family.
I agree with that. Do you know, by the way, does he have a mistress, or is he dealing with any other women?
He says he's not.
And you haven't checked, or you haven't done any research?
I wouldn't even know that, because like I said, it's now at a point where we haven't seen each other in about 3 weeks.
Oh, wow. Oh my God.
See, listen, and to me, at the end of the day, I don't care if he's out there sleeping with 10 women, because the only thing that matters is one thing, D-Dub, and that's you, and whether or not you are having the experience that you want to have. And that is either a yes or no, and nobody else is responsible for creating that experience for you except for you. And while you're sitting over here begging, pleading, waiting, praying, hanging on, trying to do this, for somebody else, meeting those needs would be the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. There's a man out there that would be like, that's all you want? Shh, aim higher, baby. Let me show you. That's it.
The fact that he just shared with me too, that, in his therapy, that he came to a realization that he wasn't loving himself.
Listen, D-Dub,
this man having fake breakthroughs.
Listen, no. It ain't no. He is probably peeling back some layers. But what I'm going to tell you is, if that's where he is and that's what he's realizing, then the process that it's going to take him in order to even figure out who he is before he can even fall in love with himself, to then have to turn around and figure out if this new healed, loving myself version of him is even compatible with the marriage and with you. You're going to wake up, your husband is not going to be your husband, and there's no guarantee that he's going to be the husband that you need, want, and or desire. So while he is doing his thing, I want you to be very real, and don't be mad at him about the time that you are choosing to waste, because this is 100% your choosing.
D-Dub, listen, I got to let you listen.
100%, sis.
I hope you listen. That's enough right there for you to take some action and make some progress.
Yes.
Keep us updated. info@harleyinitiative.com. Let us know what's going on so we can stay tapped in with your story, sweetheart, okay?
Yeah, and the hardest thing about this is it feels hard. But I'm just going to say this, D-Dub, 18 months from now, your life could look totally different. And if and when you finally start getting those needs met, you're going to be like, the only regret I have is that I didn't do it sooner. What the hell was I doing sitting waiting in order to get my needs met? Because you will never get this time back, and neither will your children.
D-Dub, you be blessed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Shout
I
out
love
to you,
you,
D-Dub.
sis. I'm praying for every good thing for you.
Man.
Yes, I too. Bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
D-Dub, we got to hear from you again, too. You just got to make sure the next time Dr. Spirit come on, you got some good news for us.
Don't tell me you still separated sitting at the house and now you ain't heard from him in 3 months.
I always want to talk to Dr. Spirit. That's
Girl,
for real.
listen, you still sitting over there separated. I'm gonna get on the plane and come to Detroit. Y'all got some flight sponsors.
For you, listen, for you, we'll take care of it.
Come on.
You good with us,
Come
Dr.
on.
Spirit.
Yeah.
Come on, D-Dub. You
So
got
check it
this,
out.
sis.
Real quick,
You
shout out
got
to
it.
all the initiates that's joining the channel. We really going crazy. Shout out to Constance for upgrading to legendary initiate. Guys, me and Tyshawn really getting in the lab, so we're not even going to say what's coming. We're just going to keep it coming.
Oh,
Shout out to
yeah.
Juanita McKinney, member for 3 months. Still fresh.
Yeah.
She said, shaking my
newbie.
head. She's a newbie. I'm not sure what you shaking my head at. Probably Ty. Ty said something crazy, I'm sure.
He hit a button somewhere.
Right, exactly.
Well, I'm going to be honest. I got some more because when that woman said that man been gone for 3 weeks, let me tell you something. Trust me, sister. That man, look.
You think he getting it
his
somewhere
romantic
else?
life is going.
Oh, you never know, because matter of fact, that may be another thing we got to talk to you about is sexless marriages and erectile dysfunction.
Well, I was gonna say she's in her 50s, so he probably is too. Sex does not always become the thing at that point.
Yep.
But that's a whole nother story.
Whole another story.
None of it matters for her story, and that's what I want to stay focused on is her, because she deserves a better experience than she's allowing herself to have.
Now, you know what was fascinating about that with D-Dub was that you called attention to the current work that she's doing, because everybody talks about the work that they're putting in, and now you challenge the work that she's putting in. And I think that's most people. They're gonna go to a therapist.
Yeah.
They're gonna sit in there.
Yeah.
And that's the work.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. I didn't challenge the work. I challenged the congruency of the goal.
Yes, exactly.
Right, and there's a difference. What do you want? And are you doing, not just in therapy, but in life? Because therapy is where the seeds are planted, but life is like where it actually grows. That's where you actually have to do the work. So if this is the goal, but you over here doing all these things and you're not seeing output, you're not seeing yourself move in measurable steps towards the goal in ways that you can see, in ways that you can state, it's not getting any better, then either you are not working on the goal or you have to change the strategies because they're not working.
Wow. I like that.
I mean, it's literal science, okay?
Yes.
A plus B always equals C. And if it doesn't, then we're working with the wrong variables. Full stop. Full stop. Full stop. Seriously, that's it.
That's excellent, guys. I want to give a shout out to everybody sending us super chats as well as the members. Again, shout out to K.M. Baca or Kim Baca, I believe that is. Fantasy, longing in a toxic way more in a relationship.
Fantasy. Okay, so she's longing in
Somebody
a
hit that
toxic
reading rainbow.
way.
Fantasy, longing in a toxic way, more in a relationship that's simply not realistic, will have you falling into fatal failure emotionally, physically, spiritually, and even professionally. Good word right there. Good word. She had me so confused. Shout out to Couture Leotard. She says, "Thank you, Dr. Spear, for being a role model in what you speak about. You speak from a place of truth, and every time you visit, I can see what living in reality and self-accountability sounds like. Reality over limerence."
Come on.
Shout out to Juanita McKinney again for gifting the membership. Shout out to all the legendary niches. Just shout out to anybody supporting the platform, guys.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of stuff going on. We try to make sure that we bring it all to the platform, and we want to get better and better and better, guys. So please keep sending the super chats. Keep supporting the platform with the Fight the Flesh bracelets, Pure 30, Hardly in Love. All of that counts. Keeps us in business, and because the thing keeps us transforming people. That's the biggest things about it. So we appreciate y'all very much.
Absolutely.
Who we got next?
Lano, man, let's go ahead and bring up
1,100 people in the chat, almost 1,200 people in the chat, by the way.
Late night
Hey,
trying
everybody.
to get this healing.
Come on, let's
late
get
night
it.
trying to get this healing.
Come on.
We're going to actually go ahead and keep it rolling. I got a sister that
You got to be
actually
quick with those things.
sent us an email that I really want to get up here. My sister that sent us that email, what was her name, by the way?
D?
What was her name?
Which one? At the beginning?
That dating a dude with she dating some guy with a boyfriend, I think. What was her name?
That was D. It was a few. It's a few
Oh, man, right.
It's a few of
It's
them.
a bunch of y'all dating men with boyfriends.
That's like a real thing.
Well, bisexuality is real.
Oh, no. I mean, like she's
Dating a
other
married man or a man
in
with a guy,
relationship.
that type of thing. There's a lot of women like
Oh, you mean she got a man on the side?
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. She is the side woman.
She's the side chick.
Okay. Listen,
Yeah.
it comes in all forms.
It
I
comes
see
in all
all of
forms.
it. Nothing surprises
Yo, let's
me.
go ahead. Let's bring Danielle up on stage here, Lano. Go ahead and bring Danielle up on stage. Let's get it popping. Danielle, how you doing? Welcome to Hardly Initiated.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
We
Hi.
blessed.
Good. Well, I first want to say thank you for having me. This is the only show my mom, myself, and my brother can all watch individually and together and debate. So thank you for the family moment.
Wow.
I
That's
love
excellent.
That.
Yeah.
I love that.
In a generational conversation. So I appreciate
on.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm 33. I live in Central Virginia, and my relationship status is single. And so my question is, I feel like I'm finally in a season where I'm like literally like going from long desert wilderness season, real dry out there, to now I'm kind of like in this land of peace where I have geographical proximity from family and other stuff so that I can have space to like learn myself, be myself, and really get in tune with like what I need, and also learn how to develop some habits for like self-nurturing. And the challenge that I'm having is that I feel like, because you were talking about earlier, like the nervous system, because I am so used to kind of like how life was, the dysfunction, the disorganization, I don't really know how to sustain being well for a long period of time. So it's like I may get to 3 months of doing the healthy stuff, going to bed on time, going outside, all the things that like would kind of boost energy levels and serotonin and all that stuff. But then I'll get to a point where, whether it's temptation, spiritual warfare, a choice, I don't know. Sometimes it's probably all three, but I feel like I go back to things that I feel like kind of undo a lot of my progress. And I feel like it's because it's familiar. And so I'm trying to get to a place where, and I'll just like be transparent and give like a real example. So I've been abstinent for 12 years, but I still struggle with like,
Sit back.
First off, that's the goals.
Wait, first of all,
Is it?
kind of.
I mean,
first of all, I ain't trying to be no asshole for no damn 12 years. Right, whose goals is that?
He said, wait, now you messed up her story now. Hold
Right.
on.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Abstinence for
I'm
12
actually used
years.
to that. It's fine.
You used to that
but anyway,
reaction. I got you.
Yeah, I am used to it. But I'll still occasionally go back to masturbation and pornography. And I feel like the reason I go to it is not always a sexual thing. It's just because like I think that's a self-soothing habit that I have. It's a way that if I'm stressed out, if something's not going my way, like in the past, I would go to that for that purpose. And so I'm trying to get to a place where the wellness is like superseding that temporary feeling of like ecstasy and release that I get in that moment, because after that I'm like, now I'm convicted, now I'm feeling shame, now I'm feeling all these negative emotions. But at the same time, I'll have a boost of energy after that. And so I'm trying to figure out, how do I get to a place where doing the things that actually nourish me and make me feel good about myself are enough to like sustain me so that I can be consistent like in that, if that makes sense.
Believe it or not, the thing is, the way that you see masturbation, as you recognize it to be self-soothing, but then you also don't have a positive relationship with masturbation, right? And so it is soothing you because when you climax, you get the oxytocin, you get the dopamine, you get the serotonin, all the things that you are getting in other places. And so the problem is it's not, I need to just not have sex. I'm curious why you separated yourself from a partner if you think that being in partnership is the healthy, appropriate way for you to do it, right? How have we wound up not in intimate partner relationship in the last 12 years if sex is a normal, natural, healthy part of being a human being? We put a way boundary on that. We got family and a healthy boundary, but we done put the partnership way out there, but we want all the things that come from a sexual relationship with a partner. So tell me about that piece.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's maybe 50-50 intentional, 50-50 not. So
say more. Say more.
Yeah, I'm the kind of person that if it does not go right, I'll go a long time without trying it again. So I feel like I've not been in a long-term consistent relationship probably since maybe 2014, where like it lasted more than like 9 months. And it's usually because I've been realizing some things about myself like over the last few years, like where I may lead with the standard of like I want to be abstinent, but over time you let the walls down and like you get close to it. And as soon as I get close to maybe crossing a line I don't want to cross, it's like, I can't talk to you anymore. You can't keep my standard. Knowing that I kind of created the double standard because I'm doing things that don't communicate the standard that I've set out of my mouth, which is I don't cross these boundaries.
Well, and you don't cross the boundaries until what? Like, tell me about the level of commitment that you're avoiding, because now we're back to attachment style.
Yeah, so I pretty much, when it gets close to like we're about to have sex, that's when I'll usually like cut it off and be like, I can't do that. That's not a part of.
No, I don't want to know. See, we keep this is making sense. We keep going back to the sex. I'm not talking to you about sexual intimacy. I'm talking about commitment. Tell me about why you are not pursuing intimate partner relationship with another person.
I don't know what pursuit looks like for me, honestly. I feel like when I do the things that are considered trying, I feel like I get really I get disappointed easily. So it's like I'll try the online dating stuff, number one, I work remote, so now I work remote for like 3 years. So I don't like interacting on screens longer than I have to. And so I already have like that issue of online dating where like I just hate being on my phone all day. And so the dates that I've had, they've not all been bad. Some have been fine. We just didn't connect on values, or we didn't connect on direction, or they weren't interested in married, but they were getting married, but they were like nice guys. And then I've had the situations where maybe we did click, like you were talking about, like that, and in that honeymoon phase, but we probably only lasted 3 or 4 months because, again, like I may have let my guard down really fast, and it starts to escalate physically more than I want it to, or beyond what I said we should do. And then we get back to this space of, I think we should take this next step sexually. And I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to, or I don't feel comfortable doing that. And then I have to end that relationship, and it's usually me. And then I have to start all over again. So that's
so, girl, you just decided I was going to go into the wilderness and stay. Forget 40 days and 40 nights. I'm going to go do 12 years. I'm going to go do a bid and then some. Do you desire to be in a relationship with somebody ultimately?
I do. Like, I don't feel like I've been doing it intentionally. I feel like it's just been this long. And I do think that some of it, like when I say the wilderness, like I was, when I lived where my family lives right now, I was a caregiver for 3 years. And so I would work 60 hours. I would come home and start another job where I was taking care of an adult. And so that was 3 years of my life. So that was a long period of time. Before that, it was like getting out of like enmeshment with family where like we're living together and the money is all mixed up. And like, I feel like I just have had a lot to kind of detach myself from. And so I'm just now in a season where I can kind of, you know, see the forest through the trees and kind of like just see me and not see everybody else's problem or try to fix everybody else's problems. And so
here's the problem I want you to work on if you feel so inclined. I want you to go do the work on what healthy boundaries look like. Because you just started practicing the healthy boundaries with your family. You've put enough breathing room where you feel like, I can just breathe and figure me out. But now what you have to figure out is how all of those enmesh boundaries, how all of the being right on top of each other has made the connection to, I don't know how to say no to the sexual relationships and the tension and the intention of the other person. And until you learn how to draw healthy boundaries, you're going to be avoidant when it comes to relationships. Because the thing that you want most is that meaningful connection with somebody, but you don't know how to get there. So you use the coping strategy all or nothing. Since I can't figure it out and I wind up disappointed and I keep doing it over and over and it always goes back to sex, I want you to recognize that the only common denominator in that equation is you. So there is a pattern that you have to disrupt. And until you figure out how to do that, you're going to stay nothing because you don't know how to get to all.
Daniel, look, thank you so much, sweetheart. And listen, first of all, I know there's a lot of ladies that's probably in that situation too.
A lot of them was agreeing in the chat saying that's me.
100%. So thank you so much for coming up and sharing, okay?
Thank you.
And also recognize, with pullers and let somebody come because I don't want to hold her, but also recognize the enmesh boundaries. And then she talked about mom, brother, her.
Right.
I'd love to know what mom's relationships have been like because she didn't mention dad or mom's partner, mom's boyfriend. So we get into enmeshed and we're all on top of each other. And then I got to pull myself away from you because we don't have healthy boundaries. We bleed on top of each other all over the place.
Mama got them ratchet relationships or just no relationships at all. All of that might affect how I'm now dating.
Or how I experience dating, how I experience relationship, how I experience boundaries. I can't say no long enough or I can't put the healthy boundaries in place to get the healthy relationship that I want. And it's not a blame. It's just sometimes it's an intergenerational cycle. We never learned how to do it. So then we just stay together. We're just going to be happy, healthy family. Forget everybody else. We don't need anybody else. We just got each other. So we can sit around, we can powwow, we can build together, we can have our finances together, we can live together. It can just be us. We'll be our own compound, us against the world. And none of us ever satisfy that part of us. And we just cut it off. Hence 12 years of abstinence.
Wow. Danielle, listen, do us a favor. Go ahead and get Mon Dukes. Go ahead and send her the link. Send her the Zoom. Tell her to jump on too.
She already got it. They debating the conversation.
Oh, right now. If that's the case, go ahead and listen. Go ahead and give her the link.
Make
too.
it a family affair. She need to be. Make sure she watched episode 1 too. All right, we need
She
to
be
make sure.
like, you ain't stepping on my toes. Don't. Why you gotta call? How I get in this?
Right.
Now check it out. I actually I have my sister back there that I was talking about, my sister Destiny that sent us that email. Lala, let's bring my sister Destiny up. She actually sent an email. Well, first of all, we got bombarded with emails.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys. Send us your stories over at info@hardlyinitiated.com. Me and Ryan literally sit down and read every single one of them.
Over coffee.
And over coffee in the morning.
Coffee.
And it's a hell of a way to start the day.
It's explosive,
with y'all
to
stories,
say the least.
Okay? It really gets us into some deep reflection, some deep conversation. And also gets us prepared to go ahead and get you guys up here. Destiny, welcome to Hardly Initiated. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hi.
Hey.
Lano.
My name is Destiny. I'm 23 and I'm from Arkansas.
Wait. We got a lot of folks over here blushing. What
No.
am I missing
I'm
out
laughing.
on?
I'm like, she look Lano age.
Yeah. Well, we got to see.
See,
We got to see. If she's healthy
Lano's over
first.
there. I mean,
Lano turned
full
21.
grin.
He turned 21.
I see
Yeah.
teeth from every.
We got to get that
ear.
Lano camera. We got to get that Lano camera so they can see Lano. We over here grooming up a nice young man here for you know.
Well, wait. We don't even know if she's single.
Oh, hold tight. Yeah, you know what?
Slow down
Matter
now.
of fact, we got to
Right.
protect Lano.
Or healthy.
Let's see how healthy this young lady is, right?
Right. What's your go ahead. Give us your age. Well, you gave us your age, your relationship status in your city.
I am from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and I am single.
Ooh,
Okay. That ain't what
Delano,
the
you might
email
still be in the
said.
game. Hold on now. Wait. let me pay real close attention for you. I'll let you know.
All right, so look, let's be brief and brilliant, but go ahead and give me catch Dr. Spirit up with what you kind of told us in that email.
Okay, so I have never been in a relationship. I've only been in situationships. And basically, I didn't grow up in a home that had intimacy or like love, I guess. It was more like I provide for you. That's enough. I didn't get the love.
I put a roof over
you.
your head, don't I? I put clothes on your back. You know I love you.
Yeah. Yeah, you know I love you. The only time really I love you is it kind of felt like conditional was when like I made good grades or I graduated high school or when I graduated college. So I guess really my question is like, how do I wait on God to give me something that I've been
No. Roll it back.
No. Okay.
Give us this backstory.
We are not
wait, I'm looking
about
side
to
to
come
side.
up here
They said, what part did
and cap.
You told her to be
Because
short
it was
you
scary.
said what? You said be brief and brilliant.
No, I did.
Yeah, you said brief. I didn't know you wanted me to tell my whole story.
No, I don't want you to tell your whole story, but it's a very specific situation.
Just tell her the part you wanted
that
to
you
tell
had put
then.
yourself in with that brother.
Well,
let's talk about that brother we was dealing with because that's a specific situation.
And I'll sum it up. So, and you let us know if we on the right page. So the most recent relationship, you met a guy who's currently involved with a woman already. You're fully aware that he has a girlfriend, but you really like this guy. And right now you stuck in a relationship with this guy trying to figure out how to get out of it, correct?
So this isn't a situationship, this is an affair.
Yeah, no, he's not married, but we met. I was deceived. I didn't know he had a girl until after we started being intimate.
Okay.
And
I'm sorry.
I found out, it was afterwards. It wasn't like I knew when I met him. It was more like it was after the point. And I don't know. I think it's so hard for me to let it go because I know he's not the man for me because he's leading me away from a path I don't even want to go down. Or I'm being a person that I never thought, in a situation I never thought I would be in. But it's more like I crave intimacy so much and I don't know, I'm very picky, so I don't usually get that often. I think the last guy I was involved with was like 2-3 years ago.
So you don't want to let him go because you don't know when you're going to get this need met again?
Yeah.
And just to be clear, when you say intimacy, you mean the emotional, connective intimacy, or you craving the sex from him? Is he really, this dude laying it down?
Both.
Okay.
And you got to remember, she said she came out of a house. Y'all kill me with that. She came out of a house, right, where the love wasn't expressed. Right. And so now tell me how he expresses the love. Tell me how the connection. What is it that you can't walk away from? Tell me about
how he expressing that love.
No, it's not the dickmatized. Tell me about the steak at the restaurant.
I guess the way he engages with me, like I don't know. I never been involved with a guy that just anytime I'm in his presence, it makes me feel like I'm the only person in that room. Like gives me like googly eyes, just smiling, like really intrigued. The way I have to say, ask questions is intrigued. Then like the way he touches me and the way he acts. Like he's a gentleman. He's a nice guy.
That lies to you.
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Which, by the way, let me give you the question that you need to ask if you ever decide to break up with him, and the question that women need to ask, and the question that men need to ask when you're trying to figure out if this person is for you. You need to ask them, is there anybody who thinks that they're in a relationship with you? Okay, not are you dating
mad at
somebody?
That one. The brother's mad at that one.
Come on, yeah, because see, it's different. Let me say, there's a difference between you got a girlfriend, you got a man. That's different than is there anybody that thinks that they are in a relationship with you? Okay, so the other part of this, though, Destiny, is what I want you to recognize is what he showed you is an introduction to what could be possible. And all the things that are feeling good that you don't want to let go of, that you're telling yourself this story, I don't really get this a lot, and I'm really picky, and I'm really selective, and it's hard for me to connect to people. No, it's not. Because, baby girl, you want love. You want to be loved. You want to feel this all the time, which is the thing that's making you want to walk away, right? He's taking you away from the path that you want. And so what I want to help you understand is what he gave you is an introduction to what could be possible. But you deserve more than crumbs. Do not let this man breadcrumb you by giving you just a few sprinkles. Then he goes over to the other woman and give her all the love, all the loaf, the entire piece of the bread. Okay? You want your own manna and you want your own man.
And let me ask this too. Are you still with him?
No, I wouldn't even call it with him. It's more like
she ain't letting that go. Go ahead, Destiny.
It's not like I'm with him. No, I'm past the point of like.
Are y'all still communicating?
No, not is today.
Not today.
Come on,
what the hell? Come on, look. First of all, we gotta keep it all the way funky.
In a week.
Okay,
so let me. Do you? Hopefully, you were listening to me earlier when I said we don't need anybody else to lie to us. It's the lies that we tell ourselves that distort things that never really let us get to where it is that we're trying to go. So if a week is the beginning of forever, then kudos and congratulations. But if you know that you're holding out, and if he says the right thing or he does the right thing, if you haven't blocked every piece of his access, if he can still text you at will, if he can still pick up the phone and his number is going to be able to hit you, if he can still hit you in your DMs, if you haven't blocked him, then you're not done with him. Mm-hmm. And so what I really want you to do is recognize that it's not about the man. It's about he is giving you small pieces of medicine in the wounds and the trauma that you have experienced in your life. And it feels good. But in the same way that just a little bit of medicine feels good, baby girl, healing feels like everything. And so see this as an opportunity, as a wake-up call. Like, oh, wait a minute, you done showed me a whole different experience that I have never had, and I want all of it. I want this times 100. Because you really can have it if you're willing to go past him in order to actually get to the full you.
And I got a really good feeling that door is wide open still.
Oh yeah. How old is the guy? Destiny, how old is the guy?
He's 23 also.
Oh young man.
Oh, he a young man. Oh, first of all, man, he's still in that player phase.
No. Like that's the lifestyle.
Facts.
It's not a temptation. It's like this is the goal. The goal is to have multiple women confused and dealing with them.
Yeah, and also please understand he is not having the same experience as you. Right? This feels like magic because you never had this before. He may have well come out of a life where his family hugged up on him, where they loved up on him, where what he's giving you as crumbs ain't nothing to him. So he can just dole it out easy because to make you feel special, to look at you, to laugh at you, to be connected, that's nothing for him.
That's light.
Right? He can look at you and in one breath make you feel special and in another breath make you feel like you're nothing because he'll lie to you. He'll look you right in your face and lie to you and then sleep with you knowing that that's not the kind of life and the road you're trying to go down. See him for completely who he is, but more importantly, see yourself for completely who you are and focus on healing you so you can actually have the life you want. At 23, girl, you got your whole life in front of you, God willing. It'll be so much better if you get this work done.
Absolutely.
It'll be so much
now,
better.
Dr. Spitter, I got a question for you. So Destiny, in this case, is like the side chick, the other woman, right?
Well, I don't know that to be true.
Okay.
But let's just say she's not the only one.
She's not the only one. So at what point when a woman plays this role as not the only one, does the other one become the enemy? Because it doesn't seem like
What do you
she's
mean, does the
concerned.
other one become the enemy?
The other woman.
Well, the other woman is not the enemy because he already knew that she did not want this lifestyle. Otherwise, he wouldn't have lied to her. He would have just been like, yeah, I'm seeing other people. Yeah, you're not the only one. He knew exactly who she was. He knew exactly what she wanted. And he knew if he didn't lie, he probably wouldn't be able to get her. But then he knew once he had her, now I can get sloppy, right? Because now the connection is there.
Yeah.
Now you actually care. You're invested. You don't want to walk away from what it is that I'm giving you. But if she gets somebody else that makes her feel the exact same thing or better, she would cut him with ease.
Well, just curious, Destiny, after you found out, how long did you still have a relationship with you after you found out he was in a relationship?
They're still in a relationship.
They still kind of in a relationship.
Well, how long has it been since you found out?
Probably like 3 weeks.
Oh, you just found out?
Yeah, this is new. This is not nothing that's been long. This is like from the summer. It started in the middle of summer until like the past week, and I found out like 3-4 weeks ago.
But she's still there because her pattern is situationships.
Right.
I get it.
Now the chat is feels a way about this too, and you already know. I'm sure it's women triggered that because Destiny in their minds is the other woman. She's very similar to all the other women that's been, you know.
How do they know that though?
Well, and that's what I wanted to ask you. It's like, because everybody can villainize this other person.
Oh, it's real easy.
Everybody can villainize other person.
He's the one that lied, according to Destiny. He's the one that said, which is why I tell you, you have to ask the question, does anybody believe that they're in a relationship with you? Because he may very well be telling the other girl too, we're not together, right? This is the problem, is too many times we focus on titles on relationship instead of focusing on quality of relationship. Again, we are in relationship with people that we're in relationship with. I don't care if you call it a situationship. I don't care if you say it's complicated, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. You are still in a relationship with somebody regardless of the title. The only part you are in control of is the quality of that relationship. Forget what a title is. So he is still in relationship with her. We don't know what the quality of the relationship is with the other woman. We don't even know that the other woman is the only woman. Right. So we can't jump to conclusions. This is his pattern of behavior, but what's more important here is hers. She told you, I have a history of situationships. And when you live in a house where somebody loves you while neglecting you, then it is easy to go into intimate partner relationships where you are neglected and get breadcrumbs too. Okay, so she said, yes, I know that they love me, but what they taught me was what? I'm not going to tell you that. I'm not going to feed you that. You're just going to have to assume that I love and care about you. So the same person that I want to have a certain kind of relationship with, I'm not going to get that. You feed me, that's enough. You clothe me, that's enough. You put a roof over my head, that's enough. So then when I go out into relationships, I'm going to have to guess, and it's okay if I have crumbs and don't get all of my needs met too. Right, this is a pattern of behavior that she has to heal, so then she knows I don't have to settle for just pieces of love or just a little bit of having to figure out or assume and let that be enough. She has to decide situationships are not enough, but she won't decide that until she requires more. And when she requires more in her intimate partner relationships, she'll start to challenge her parental ones too.
So, you know,
that's deep.
This is a really important part right here, because I think most of women's problems.
Oh, you gonna tell us about women? Go ahead.
Let me
mansplain.
Let me go Dr. Ty real quick.
Come on, you press that button again, though. We're gonna be fighting. I'm gonna break a finger.
Well, first of all, that's what she need to tell him.
He said, okay, you've been studying mental health,
right?
Come on, go ahead.
But no, the women that I've been able to manipulate or do wrong all in my life, they just generally, one thing in common for sure, they all had very low standard to what a relationship required.
Yeah.
So the requirements were all very low. That's why a man can maintenance multiple relationships at once. Because now that I'm actually trying to have a healthy relationship, I'm like, ain't no way in hell I want all these women. Because I'm not trying to do this with a bunch of women.
So listen.
My question now, I don't want to go there because I see you get more.
No, because I was going to say, because you say that women do, but men have even lesser standards oftentimes. Because what do y'all say? Feed me.
On where he is.
What is the F's that y'all want?
Right. Feed,
come on.
Yeah, I mean, feed, fuck, and it's probably one. What was the other one?
Food.
Food.
Oh,
that's
we already said
feed. That's
feed.
feed. That's how important food is.
But you see, but what it is at the bare minimum, we have learned that we cannot get our needs met. The original people that loved us taught us we are not going to fulfill all of your needs. So we learn how to settle. So if you just meet these basic needs, that is going to be more than enough for me. Right? Feed me, leave me alone. That's all.
But now here's what I want to know though, because I think this is so important for the ladies. How does a woman, just like this young lady here, she's 23 years old, how does she raise the standard? Because that's not something you just overnight
Therapy. She has got to heal the void. Good. Are you talking to your therapist about these situationships?
Yes, I am. We are currently working on it right now.
What would it look like for you to step away from intimate partner relationships until you get to a certain level of healing? What is the idea of that? Tell me about that part. What don't you want to let go?
I think it's just that feeling. I don't know. I feel like it's a void because that's how I grew up, not having those things in my life. I feel like I lived my whole life with that void.
Yeah.
And I haven't. It's not like I've been searching for it to be fulfilled. But once I do get a taste of it, it's like I don't want to let it go, like you said earlier.
Yeah. It's the addiction. But let me say this, you're starving for it. And the problem with it is that when we're out there starving for it, the people that recognize that we are vulnerable, what you are going to attract, and also more importantly, what you are going to choose is the same experience over and over. That's why you're caught up in the situationship cycle. And so what I'm trying to just encourage you to consider is stepping away long enough to have the need vibrate in the right way with the right intensity so that your therapist can, with razor sharp precision, if they are good enough, they will find exactly where that wound is and help you heal it. And here's the thing, that until you do enough healing, the person that you will actually be compatible with when you get far enough along in the journey, that person is not going to be attracted to you now, and you wouldn't choose them now. So you getting involved with anybody right now is not going to be the forever mate that you want on that path that you're talking about.
Matter of fact, I'm going to be honest. After you heal up, Lano, come here. I got a young man for you.
Ooh,
Lano, come here, Lano.
Look at him.
Take your headphones off. I got a young man. Wait, we got to change it. We got to put you on a wide spot. I got you. Come over here.
Go on top spot.
Yeah, come sit next to me. Look at this young man right here.
He been working out and stuff.
Look, he's so tall. He got to get lower.
Get lower.
He got to get lower. See this young man? This a handsome young man right here. 21-year-old man, and he's healing every show.
Wait, go back over there, flex for it real quick.
Come flex.
Show the muscles.
Show the muscles.
Go ahead. Why you
working out in the
man?
morning together. Come on, stop playing, man.
The poor baby is blessed.
He had to shine over there.
He's talking about his arms better than mine. Wait, go ahead. Oh, look at that. Go ahead.
Show the
Hey, so just know, but you got to heal first, though, okay? You got to heal first. This is only for the healed young ladies.
Right. Listen, he is not a steak, okay? He is not a piece of meat. Although y'all just, well, I mean,
it just depends on what's,
he might be.
Hey, he gonna be somebody's steak.
Listen, but I want him to be more than that, and then I want to make sure that they're compatible. But possibilities. This could be the start of something. Save this tape. You just never know.
You just never know.
Absolutely.
Never know.
Look, Destiny, thank you so much for coming up here, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Man, hey, you know so what? Good. She made a good point because she said, I just love the fact that we got, you talking about 65-year-olds watching.
Intergenerational.
We got the 21 years old watching, the 23-year-olds, the 35-year-olds, the 40. That's so special, y'all. It's so special for all of us to be in this place having this conversation. I'm going to be honest, Destiny, shout out to you because for you to be 23, well, what is she, 21 or 23?
23.
She's 23 years old watching this show.
Yeah.
Your mind is, you going to trust me.
I'm telling you, ahead of the game.
You are ahead of the game. So shout out to all my initiates, because one thing I know is if you here, you trying to get this shit together.
Come on.
That's what you're here for.
Come on.
And we're going to whip you right into shape. All right? We ain't playing no games
no, we
around here.
No
I agree with that.
All right? So big shout out to everybody in here right now.
Shout out to my boy Harrison dropping them 5 HR memberships. So the initiative is going crazy. Harrison, man, listen, I can't even give out your contact. Harrison, when you get those emails, that's my boy Harrison whipping them up, making sure we represented on the email. And that's how we got in contact with y'all to send all of those testimonies over to us for Dr. Spirit.
Absolutely. And y'all, let me tell you, what we're going to do is, oh my gosh, man. Shout out to the initiatives. We're going to keep it rolling. No, that was a good, oh my gosh.
No, that was really good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just feeling good tonight. I'm feeling good. Dr. Spirit House Coffee.
You know what's crazy? I'm thinking about man, I just got a young lady in my life. You know, she's a really great friend of mine, to say the least. And she's got a very toxic situation that she's dealing with her family. I'm actually texting her now, trying to get her to call in anonymously because she maybe just needs to be anonymous.
Okay.
But it's her. She has 2 siblings, so it's 3 young women. All the women, they range from about 25 to like 29 sisters. Beautiful women, very smart, intelligent. All of them are doing things with their life, but they have this very toxic issue with their parents' relationship that really consumes a lot of how they think, how they do things, you know, how they perceive things. And I really wanted her to get a call in because right now the biggest thing with them is trying to support their mother in ending the relationship with their father, and they've been married for like 30 plus years. And
why are they trying to be all up in their parents' business?
See, and that's the thing, right? Now, there's no physical abuse, right? And but there's levels of emotional abuse throughout the 30 years. And with the main thing being, and you confirm for me if this is emotional abuse, for the entire time they've been together, her parents have been together, her mother has been supporting the father the entire time. Like, no breaks. She's taking him to school. She's going to work. She's doing all the events. Absolutely no help. She's paying for his bills, medical bills, paying for the entire family is solely based on her income, which she's getting no help.
And the mom told you that?
The daughter told me that. That's
okay. So that's the daughter's version of the mom's version of her parents' marriage. And I'm not saying that it's not true, but I'm just saying that cannot be in and of itself enough to say that's emotional abuse. That now we might talk about financial abuse, but you know, I'd have to talk to mom.
Man, I'm gonna try to get her mom to call in. It might be not. I'm gonna try to get her mom, because the thing is, they are their whole entire mind, like, this is huge.
Consumed.
They're consumed by this thing
because they believe that their mother deserves a different kind of experience. The question is, does mom believe that? Does mom want that? Or is mom satisfied in having a different set of needs met sitting in the relationship that she's in? And are her children becoming so consumed by mom's life that they are not living theirs? And then the intergenerational trauma becomes real and just gets passed on. This inheritance is serious. So now they're all caught up in a different situation instead of their own. And we don't know how mom got into the situation with dad that she chose for 30 years. Right. That intergenerational trauma is real. I think, what do they call it in the, they call it something else.
Curse?
The 7 year, the curses and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, go ahead. Let me get to work. Let me get to work over here to see if we can get a special guest appearance on this.
No. I got you. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and bring up somebody here from backstage, which backstage is still popping. Y'all, backstage, y'all got to help me out. I want y'all to put y'all questions back here. And it looks like whenever I got y'all rock bottom, I don't know if y'all was here, I want the rock bottom stories. Send your super chats. We're going to go ahead and read them joints. I actually have a rock bottom here with my sister Katie. And I want to bring her up so she can go about talking about it. Oh, man. And she's in Tampa. Big shout out. Blessings out there to Tampa, man. Hurricane coming out there to Tampa. Big blessings. Lano, go ahead and bring Katie up here on the stage. Welcome to Hardly Initiated. Katie.
Hey, guys.
Hey there.
What's up with your sister?
Great energy, beautiful smile. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I have been a Hardly Initiated silent member for months and have been salivating in all of these podcasts. So I'm glad to finally catch it live. And I have been evangelizing with those cards. So thank you.
Woo! How they working for you? You having fun with them?
Oh, they are working.
Hey, look, y'all better go ahead and get your deck.
Yes,
All
get
right.
your deck, people.
Link in the bio.
I love it. Go ahead and give me your age, your location, and your relationship status.
I am 45, originally from Tampa, currently in the DMV area working, and I am single.
There you go.
Oh, she
There
said
you go.
single. That's that. I said it twice, so y'all better understand.
mean it.
See me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So what's your question here for Dr. Spirit?
My concise question is for those, and you touched on it, Dr. Spirit, for those that are used to being the emotional solution to everyone else, for those leaders and mentors.
Gianni, shut my door.
Leaders and mentors who are used to being the answer for everyone else, historically labeled successful, how do you grapple when you yourself hit that emotional rock bottom alone, dealing with that while you're operating to be everybody else's solution, but mainly those missed opportunities while, the wolves pulled over your eyes? How do you re-grasp, forgive yourself, but be okay that you missed those opportunities that you may not get back?
Tell me about the part that says the wool was pulled over your eyes.
I will say, you see the signs, but you ignore. I think you helped when you were just helping the last young lady, and you see the fantasy more than the reality. And sometimes we lose ourselves and we're walking by faith and not by sight, and we ended up totally in fantasy land and not even in faith world.
Come on.
Fantasy.
So then this wasn't the wool was pulled over your eyes. This was, I told myself a story that I wanted to believe.
Accurate.
So where did you learn that it's your job to be everything for everybody else while not having your needs met, even though you've always wanted to?
The watching my parents growing up in ministry, sacrificing self.
Yeah, so then you don't know how to advocate for getting your needs met. And sometimes when we watch it, not only do we watch it, but we also experience it, because vicarious learning is real. And then also as a PK, right, then you also have to sacrifice, right? Because they expect you to walk, they expect you to sacrifice, they expect you to put everybody else's needs ahead of your own, right? Because you got these parents. Lucky you got everything you need. Meanwhile, you don't got nothing because they're so busy pouring into everybody else, and they are not even pouring into themselves or each other. So the question is, how do you heal the trauma? How do you grieve what you didn't get? And how do you identify ways to be able to advocate and go against what feels like a reflex? Because now you don't even have to think about not getting your needs met. Now you have to work hard to go, wait a minute, no. This is where I'm supposed to get my need met, and I have the skill set to be able to advocate and require it to be so. You don't have the tools.
The needs were met. It seemed boring. You mentioned it earlier. Like, wait a minute, this person is me. My needs, kind, gentle, that 1 Corinthians love, but that was boring. It wasn't a project to me. It wasn't something for me to solve, figure out.
Oh, wait, so you want to build a boo. Now tell me about that.
Now I'm exhausted from it.
No, you're not. Tell me about the excitement of it. No, of course, the labor is exhausting, right? But you also don't know how to get out of it. So tell me about Build-A-Boo. What's exciting about building somebody? Especially, you watched your parents build a ministry. You watch them build and inspire people. You watch them take broken people and bring them up and do all the things. You felt that energy, right? So your nervous system is hardwired for that. It's hardwired to pour into and to accept the lack as a challenge. Let's go. Let's get the church going. Let's get the donations. Let's go. Oh, we save souls, and you still trying to save souls in your bed, and your bed is not your ministry. So tell me what's really going on.
Yeah, I'm realizing that I like to see impact, and now I'm learning through counseling and reconfiguring these little girl thoughts, how to be impactful in a healthy way that doesn't damage or sabotage my own health.
So let me tell you, it's not just little girl thoughts, even though the part of you that needs love and healing is that inner child in you. So the inner child work will help. This is actually spiritual trauma. And if you don't deal with the ways that being a part of the church has traumatized you. So we think about like just abuses and offenses, but we don't think about the neglect that sometimes comes as being a PK. So you might need to be
Past kid.
I ain't hear that one.
Past
yeah.
kid.
Spiritual trauma.
Yes. Oh, spiritual trauma is real. That's why so many people leave the church or become disillusioned by it, because they invest in the man or the woman in the church instead of being able to stay tied to the scripture or the word. So she lost her parents and lost herself and lost her own psychological, emotional, spiritual, physical, etc. development. If she doesn't do the grief work to unpack that, to go, wait a minute, I had all this lack while I watched everybody else get fed by the very people that were supposed to feed me, and they were the leaders of the church, right? Like there's a lot of layers to this, and until you really start doing that healing work, you won't really be able to get fed, because you will, as soon as it comes in, you will start to pour it out, dole it out. You'll give it to everybody else and then constantly feel depleted because you never hold any for yourself. You got to love and learn how to love from the excess, from the runoff, from the overflow. You're pouring from an empty cup, and as soon as you get a drop, you've already been conditioned by faith and by belief and by requirement as a PK to give everything you got and then give some more, knowing and believing that the more is going to come from within and in abundance. But you never save anything for you.
Hold on, we're gonna have to talk about this for a minute, because
You like that?
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
that
sorry.
spiritual trauma.
Okay.
That's
It's the
honestly,
real.
I've never heard anybody break down. I've never heard those two words put together.
What two words?
Spiritual trauma.
Spiritual trauma? Oh.
But it makes
babies.
perfect sense.
Yes.
How you spoke on that, and all the things that can come just in the, especially when you just in the lifestyle of church.
Oh yeah.
And in the
It's a
space and in that
system.
environment.
That's a
Yes.
lot
All
on
the
kids
things
too.
that can come with it.
Yes.
And as I can imagine, she has a unique experience as a preacher's kid, because I know I never put this word together, but I know people who have spiritual trauma in different areas as attendees. You know, people that worked in leadership, people that actually was the preacher.
Right.
Yeah.
And all of these people have been affected and afflicted in these different ways, and they cause.
Well, and nobody thinks about the PK, the preacher's kid, right? But stop for 5 seconds, everybody, and because we all knew PKs in college.
Yeah, we did. Oh.
Who tell? Come on, think about the PK that you knew.
Yeah, she was. Yeah, so she. Yeah.
I don't know what that button is. He's scared.
That's
me
the
with
little
it, but
free.
come
Hold on,
on.
wait. Maybe you know
It
this one
wasn't
right here.
good.
Maybe you know this one.
Right. She was down getting loose.
I know not what you speak.
And if it was a male preacher's kid, he was probably getting beat up.
Listen,
That's just how it was in high school.
but it's the relief. It is when I finally get out there, I am so nose wide open to every single experience that I have not been able to feel, that I have not been able to be talked through, that I have not had fed, that unfortunately I am going to go almost damn near drown and kill myself in this before then I try to return back and try to get back on the path.
Wow.
The trauma is real. The trauma is real, and we do not acknowledge it, and we don't talk about it enough. Get with a good Christian-based therapist if you can find one that understands the word and can meld that with the psychology. You'll be right where you need to be, because that's a long kind of walk to just have somebody that really understands the nuances of that. I got a couple of folks I can refer you to. Just holler at them, and I got some folks for you.
Hey, holla at us. We
Big
got
fact.
you.
Go ahead and email us, Katie, and we'll make sure you're taken care of.
I love it. Thank you all.
Oh, my pleasure.
Nah, shout out to
My
you.
pleasure.
She got that big hair on. I love that hair.
Yeah,
I
she's
love
styling.
that.
She's styling.
I love that big, natural looking hair. I don't even know if
That's
it's a
the
wig or
call.
not. It don't matter.
No, that's her. That's the call to action right there.
That's the call to action?
She said, "Look, pay attention. I'm single. Hello.
You know what?
Hello.
That is that single. That's that single hair. When I see that big hair,
Right.
I'm just like, you listen. She ready to get hollered at.
Well, she
I
already
agree.
told you what part is the ministry, right? The P is the ministry. She over there spreading the word and preaching the gospel, building booze over there. She said, "I'm single. Where's the next? The church doors are open."
We're gonna have to get y'all hooked up. What y'all think about that, by the way? What if we did an exclusive show where only thing we did was live blind dating? Would y'all be a part of that? Let me know. Put date in the chat if the initiates will be open to bringing back some version of Hardly in Love, where we literally take the whole show and all we do is live blind date and drop date in the chat if that's something that you're interested in. That's something we've been thinking about.
We've been, hey, listen, we plotting on some things, y'all. Yeah. It's about to get real creative
you
next
create
month.
the right application, I can put the right people in the room.
What?
Wow.
Oh yeah, if I could see like who they are, I'd be like, oh, this person, it could be a match for them and for them. They definitely don't need to meet them, but they need to see why that's their trauma bond. Like you can put the right people in the room and let some fireworks happen.
They ain't gonna be your clients, right? They ain't gonna be them.
No. This is gonna be well. Listen, everybody needs the premarital counseling, and everybody needs therapy. I'm gonna keep saying it. Yes.
Lana, why you still got Katie go? Hey,
Katie
let my sister Katie go.
We in church right now.
Wake up over there, Delano.
Let the church say amen, Sister Katie.
He's still blushing over there about
about my
he's
my
thinking
sister.
about Danielle.
He probably sent us some DMs. He sent us some DMs.
He's over there like this. Danielle, my bell.
Right. This man crazy.
That's funny. You know, the chat actually.
I like this view.
The chat actually did bring some. They brought some sense to it actually, because I thought of the concept. We say the word church hurt often. Is the word church hurt, is that synonymous with spiritual trauma? Is that the same thing?
Yeah. It's the hurts that I experience as part of the church. But I also want you to just be reminded, not everybody goes to church. Some people go to the mosque. Some people go to synagogue. Some people won't go anywhere. Some people try to deal with their spiritual relationship outside of the church because they don't want any parts of the church. And it's not always just church hurt. It is the hurt that I receive in the environments that I've either placed myself in or been forced to survive. Right. And so we got church hurt, we got work hurt, we got parent hurt, we got relationship hurt, we got school hurt, we got sports hurt, we can get traumatized and hurt everywhere we go. So we have to know how to take care of ourselves.
So, you know, help our people understand, because we got a big Christian audience. So just talk some game to them real quick, because I think it's probably some confusion. Because listen, I know some people that have been in the church for decades, and they some of the most unhealed, toxic folks
right
known to earth.
Because we don't talk about how to heal. Oftentimes what we get is preached at from the pulpit, and we get things where we go, ooh, he's calling me out. Ooh, they're talking about me. Ooh, now I feel guilt and shame, but nobody ever tells me how to heal. And so what am I supposed to do with that? You're just calling me out. You're telling me about my afflictions. You're telling me about my bad behavior. You're telling me about how what I'm doing is going to separate me from heaven, how it's going to separate me from the Father. You're telling me that I'm undesirable, I'm unlovable, I'm unworthy, I'm unredeemable, I'm just full of sin, I'm afflicted, I'm everything bad, without ever telling me how to heal so that I can get to the good. And if you beat somebody down with that message, or you leave them forlorn, then you also have the church being sick. You got people full of depression, full of anxiety, full of post-traumatic stress disorder, full of acute stress disorder. That's why they sitting in church just rocking, holding themselves silently, just crying side by side, or getting up, running down the hallways, running down the aisleways. That's why they falling out and getting fanned. They are overwhelmed and full of all of the emotions that they don't know what to do with. And so they just keep coming back week after week, looking for the answers, looking for the motivation, looking for the salvation, looking to find themselves, looking to find their connection with the Father, looking to find the release and the relief without ever getting fully fed. And the part that is missing is the healing. That's the part that's missing.
First of all, y'all getting set straight up in here.
It's just
tonight.
The awareness. It's the connection. Because as I said, you can have Jesus and a therapist. Hell, even Jesus wept. There's nothing about mental health. Am I lying?
No, you're not. You're not.
There is nothing about mental health that is not biblical, that is not scriptural. Depression existed in mental health. Homicidality existed in mental health. Suicidality existed. Anxiety, infertility. There is nothing that you are going through in this world that there is not scripture to point out to you exactly what it is. We just don't, again. And then we look at the healers and go, oh, you're a demon, you're possessed. I don't have to do nothing but except for just go into the prayer closet and pray it away. Meanwhile, he created us too. He gave us the skill too. He gave us the knowledge too. He gave us the heart too. He gave us the word too. What are we doing, people? If the church stays sick, then the world stays sick. I'm just going to leave it right there.
Ooh.
If the church
stays sick,
the world stays sick.
The world stays sick.
Yes, because isn't this supposed to be for the kingdom?
Right.
This is the covenant wealth right here. The covenant wealth is the covenant health. And too many of us are sick and are not getting well. So then what are we doing? That's why you got to keep coming back doing it again, because you didn't get well enough to get up there in the first place. But I'm just going to leave that there.
Damn. Matter of fact, let me just press it. No, this is very real, because I don't think we have a lot of time. We don't know how to take the church and break it down into something practical into our lives. So our spiritual routine is just whatever we get on Sunday.
Come on.
And then it's hell back on Sunday afternoon after church.
And that's why you're sitting in there just crying, just and you doing all that, and the person next to you know how much it hurts because they hurting too. So then y'all just start holding and rubbing each. Yeah, because we were taught that we could not cry out. That's not biblical. That is conditioning. That's enslavement. Those are remnants of enslavement, right? Never let them see you sweat. Don't let them know that you're weak. Don't do any of those things. And the church was the only place that we could run. The church was the only place that they let us even just have some time off, right? Was in the church. That's why all of our scriptures and all of our spirituals and everything were rooted in the church. We're rooted in the old Negro spirituals, right? We don't understand the role that the church has played for us as people in our survival. That was the only place that we could cry out and be safe.
Wow.
And then go back outside after that and do it all over again.
Man, we need to get that real heal. That's just what came to my mind.
Come on.
That real heal.
Yeah.
And
not just a little bit of relief or release. We go one day a week for a few hours and go, oh, okay, that gave me exactly what I need till next week. Hallelujah. And often that's all we got.
Oh my goodness. Y'all listen, we just gonna bring a couple people up here tonight because Dr. Spirit is in here in the building working. Soul Ties Part 2. We in here taking care of these toxic relationships that y'all in. That's what we answering here tonight. So make sure y'all come up here and give us these questions that someone as qualified as Dr. Spirit can give us that real heal from. All right?
I want somebody to come up and tell us about something, serious. Very serious.
All of this is serious.
No, I know it's serious. But just well, let me just say this. When the young lady, I think it was Danielle, talked about masturbation, I just thought that, to me, that's just such a compelling conversation. The reason why I say that is because I did not know that women struggle with masturbation as much until I started reading our emails from the Pure 30.
Oh, my goodness.
When we started reading those emails, I was like, yo, Ty, you have to look at this. I did not know that this was going on.
Yeah.
And we were reading, messages from women that's like, yo, I do this 3-4 times a day.
And they get it because their body parts work different from ours.
Well, but that's the problem, though, is that we have these beliefs based upon gender, right? In the same way a lot of women think that men don't have feelings and y'all don't, and then y'all think women is. We are human beings. We are capable of every single feeling, every single experience, every single desire. Women want sex just as much as men. We just need connection in different things in different ways before we're ready to go there. And some of it is biological, but most of it is environmental conditioning. But if you don't recognize that we are all having the same struggle, we are never going to get to the point where we stop going at each other instead of getting with each other. We are trying to be in relationship with each other without ever seeing the humanity in each other, because we are so wrapped up in all these titles and labels instead of seeing the human being.
First off, that's so true. And it's so crazy. I don't know why I don't, because especially now that we communicate more with our audience.
Yeah.
And and I'm reading the men's stories and then the women's stories. It's easy for me to read the men's stories like, oh man, I know exactly what you mean. But then I read the ladies' stories and it's the same thing. But it's like, I don't know why it's so hard for me to wrap it around my head that both men and women deal with a lot of the same exact issues.
Because you've been conditioned by society to make you believe something different. Hell, I remember, I'll age myself here. I remember in the 80s when where the books came out, men are from Mars and women are from Venus. We're absolutely different. And true enough, there are different biological hormones that are expressed in our bodies in different ways, and our brains kind of function differently in some nuanced ways. But we start off exactly the same in utero. right? It's not until a certain point, depending on what all hormones are present at a particular point, do we become male or female. And what we're learning about science about what X is and what Y is and how XY is and XX and all these other things, there's so much that we don't know. And these are just social constructs. So until we get past all the constructs to really understand ourselves, understand what our needs are, understand what we're compatible with, and know how to get it consistently for ourselves, we're going to continue to be in this state.
Whew. And there you have
Shout
it,
out to the
family.
initiates, man. I just grow so much just from hearing their stories that they share with us.
True.
And it just really gives me perspective.
I love that
Truly.
they share.
Very
have
they
really
share.
taught me empathy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I would say that's the biggest thing I've learned from, you know, the ladies. Because, you know, the funny thing is when we started the show, we started for men to speak about men's problems.
Interesting.
The whole concept of me and Ryan, we in our previous business, we were studying, you know, we got into different books we never read before, manhood, masculinity, relationships. And we saw that just in general, we were a generation of men that didn't come through a rites of passage. We were hardly initiated, where a lot of the great men in history had came through these rites of passage.
Yeah.
And
the women gonna flock then, because see, we are dying to understand you. We are dying to be in relationship with you. We are dying to love you and to be loved by you. So that was a woman magnet. In the same way where I tell women, when you're trying to find a man, let me explain to you how to find the magnets.
we didn't know that.
There's a way to do it. Yeah,
we had no idea.
Because y'all didn't know me back then. I would have told you. That's
right. Yeah, right. We didn't know what we
You put a group of men together, you tell the women that a group of men is going to be somewhere, because it's hard to get y'all anywhere. So you start talking about men talking about feelings.
It's going down. It's going down.
Men talking about feelings, sign me up. Men talking about their thoughts, give me the cheat code, because I'm trying to figure you out. That's all I want is just one of you. I ain't even trying to be greedy. I just need my one. Shoot, you should have known.
You know what?
No, you're right about that.
Honestly,
now we know game.
Now we know now. And the brothers, let me tell you, the brothers that you attract to these kind of conversation, they some good looking brothers.
They
Big
are.
shout out to the initiates.
They are.
So there's a correlation between how they. I'm gonna let that go. He said
no.
What I mean is they just look healthy.
They do.
Well, and here, because listen, I done seen different folks, different followings.
Yeah.
Listen, there's some folks they shouldn't even have an event.
So there is some correlation.
Oh yeah.
No, because we had
attracted. We went out to Houston, and we know we was going to our first meetup out in Houston. This was early this March, and there's one of our guys with us, and he was like, "Man, I'm not coming out there, man. Y'all not," because he's a single guy. I'm like, "Man, you need to come out here. There's gonna be a lot of women out here."
I'm trying to tell you.
And he tried to downplay how the ladies was gonna look and all of this stuff.
They going through this, they going through that. Man, our followers showed up and man,
showed up, showed out.
Listen,
showed up and showed out.
Looking healthy, looking beautiful. You know, ready to change their life, ready to do some things different.
Ready to find a man.
Ready to find a man, especially. That was a number one thing.
Yeah, like they're like, Ty,
what a niggas?
Where the niggas at?
See, that's the problem right there. That's the problem. Me and that word, I just can't do it.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
We're gonna keep it clean without the spirit.
We're gonna keep it clean without the spirit.
You don't need to keep it clean. You done said dickmatized. You done said fuck. We can say all the things.
Listen, we meeting the people right where they at, because these all the words in our emails.
Right.
The church doors are open. Let's go.
They are. I agree with that.
You got cussing preachers and cussing pastors nowadays. Drinking pastors and
that's different.
And consensually non-monogamous pastors.
Let me tell you something. And pastors that wear too little shorts. and too tight of shirts. We're gonna talk about that another day. But
well, you know, they are just human beings like us, doing the best they can.
Let me tell you something. You won't find me in the church with a guy wearing shorts that short.
Can't do the shorts.
No, some of that stuff, man. You know, that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay.
Some of that stuff, I'm just like, this is not. I just can't accept the message because of how it come packaged.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. And me personally, I don't think nothing wrong with that. I like my brother strong. I like him with deep voices. I like him, masculine.
Wait, hold on. What now?
I like them men. I like men. I like to be around men that make me want to stand up straighter.
Oh.
Work on speaking from my diaphragm. Right.
So there's a certain kind of something that resonates masculinity to you.
To me, absolutely.
Okay, that's a whole
Absolutely.
conversation.
No, that is. That is.
Is that trauma?
That really is.
Is that trauma?
I didn't say that was trauma. I just said it was a conversation. It's worth going down the rabbit hole someday. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Go back to the what room are you in?
Let's hear the people. We backstage. I'm backstage. I'm looking at my people backstage.
Come on, they waiting.
My sister Pam impatient back here.
Come on.
Bring Pam up here. I want to see what Pam want to talk about backstage. What's up with you, Pam? Welcome to Hardly Initiated, my sister.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
We can.
I sure can hear you, Pam.
It's like I want to make sure everything is just right. Hallelujah.
Well, I've been waiting since 8:30.
Oh, come on,
wow.
Pam.
Wait, Pam. Have you been up here before?
This is my first time.
Wow. Well, look, congratulations. Welcome to Hardly Initiated. Give me your age, your location, and your relationship status.
My age is 53. I'm located in Atlanta, and I'm single.
Look, we went from 53 to 23 all in the same show.
Incredible.
I love it.
Incredible.
I love it.
Exactly,
What's up with you, Pam? Go ahead and give me your question.
Okay, so my question is that I'm dealing with grief and ghosting. I met someone back in March. We hit it off really good. We had a lot in common. I was a caregiver for my mom who passed away just recently in June from lung cancer.
So sorry.
But the guy who I met, he was a caregiver for his mom, went through the same thing, right? So he understood. So in the course of us being in the talking stages for like about 4 months, we kind of was moving fast somewhat, but he was there for me. He was very supportive and everything like that. He would come over, cook for my mom, take us different places and run errands and things like that. So it was cool, right? But when it got close to the time that she had went into home hospice, and I was just letting him know, like, hey, this is something new for me. I need your support because I'm an only child. And I was saying, I need your support, would you be okay supporting me? Because you've been through this before. So he's like, yeah, no problem. I'll go ahead and help you, everything like that. But a week after she passed and everything, right, I talked to him and everything, and he was trying to talk me through the situation as far as like, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of people come up to you at the service and just give me a little pep talk about how to take it all in, right? But that was the last time I spoke with him. I hadn't heard anything from him, right?
So was he there to be in relationship with you, or was he reenacting his trauma and being able to help you take care of your mother?
I think that because every time I brought something up about her issues or something like that, he would kind of take it hard, kind of like, oh my God, he would have some type of trigger or something like that. I guess it would make him think about his own mom or something like that. However, this is the thing. So like I said, I hadn't talked to him. That was in June, right? I hadn't spoken to him the whole time. And I didn't call or anything because I'm sorry, I didn't hear somebody else in the background. I didn't call him or anything like that. And most recently, I went past his house. Because it's like sometimes you just need that closure or something. Let me know. I don't know.
That don't sound like closure. That sounds like opening.
Well,
what did you need? What were you trying to see, Pam?
Well, this is for me because I wanted to know the reason why he just ghosted me. I mean, because if you said that you were going to be there, that you were going to be supportive and things like that, why did you all of a sudden stop? And now I'm looking at like, well, what did I say anything wrong? Did I do anything wrong?
There we go.
I didn't know. But I saw him outside and I was like, well, hey, how are you? And he was like, I'm fine. He's kind of dumbfounded.
Because you rolling up on his house.
Well, let me just say this. So I said, well, I've been calling, to see how you were and anything. He said,
I was calling, you didn't answer, so I popped up.
Pam off the chain.
Off the chain.
So listen, so he says, yeah, when your mom died, I just didn't want to deal with it. I just didn't want to deal with it or anything with it. So yeah, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay. I didn't expect him to say that, but I was like, okay, and he wasn't really saying anything else. And I was like trying to make small conversation. I'm like, okay, well, I see you pressure washing the house. He's like, yeah, and I got company inside. I'm like, okay. So basically, make a long story short, I don't hold y'all or nothing like that. He ended up meeting somebody 2 weeks after he ghosted me. And they have been on the whirlwind. I guess he's love bombing her too or something like that. But my thing is that it's like I'm grieving two people. I'm grieving my mom, you know, and I'm also grieving him because it's like, golly, I didn't know. I'm thinking that I did something wrong, you know, and everybody's telling me like, oh, it's nothing you did wrong. It's just that he's being a coward. He didn't know how to handle it. And I really don't, and I try to think back because when we were talking in the talking stages, I was letting him know as far as my boundaries, as far as like, you know, the communication, because he had some inconsistent communication that he said that he would work on, you know, but he never really worked on it. And I was busy with my mom and I really didn't even think about that. You know, like, okay, well, I'm not going to stress him no more about that. But, you know, I'm thinking maybe he probably didn't want to, you know, maybe he didn't want to be in a relationship, or maybe he didn't want to he didn't want to accept my boundaries or something like that. And that's the reason why he dipped. I don't know.
Hold on, wait. Let me just get some clarification from myself,
the story sounds familiar. Pam, did you email us the story?
I did.
I remember reading that.
Okay, so by the way, Pam, how long were y'all together before he ghosted you?
4 months.
Okay, so this is still relatively a young situation. So,
right.
Man, were y'all sexually active?
Yes.
Okay, and see this when they start pulling up on you fellas. When you start doing when you start laying that thing down, they start pulling up to your house and all this. Because I'm like, in 4 months.
Let me tell you,
it's the confusion. She was like, you haven't made this make sense for me. I don't understand. I need you to give me some answers that are going to make sense.
Yeah,
so
but
that I can
going
rest.
to his house ain't gonna get fine. Usually that. I have never heard one say, you know what? As soon as I pulled up to his house unannounced, everything just got so much better. Ladies, rarely.
I have, but I don't want to give anybody hope.
Please don't start dealing that hope, because women about to start grabbing their car keys right now.
Wow.
Because it's a lot of brothers that's out here missing. But
I'm just saying, I just needed to, you know, I rolled past there. I'm like, okay, I was out that way anyway. I said, let me just drive past there. And he was outside. All right, so you know what? This is now or never. Ask him. You got the chance. Ask him what happened.
Okay, and pretty much he told you, I didn't want to deal with that, and I got a woman inside.
Pretty much.
Okay, well.
But that wasn't where the first part started. I mean, Pam, to your own testimony, he was inconsistent during the time that you were caretaking for your mom. You just didn't want to deal with it, or you couldn't deal with it, or you were hyper focused on trying to caretake, or it was okay because he was meeting some other needs. The question though is, why does his answer matter to you?
Oh man, that's a great question, Dr. Spirit.
I mean, it drove her to his house after he wouldn't answer her calls. So the answer was really important. What need were you trying to get satisfied?
Me not knowing.
Not knowing what? I have to know what?
Not the reason why he stopped talking to me. The reason why he ghosted me. I needed to know that.
Why?
Because I wasn't going to be settled in my spirit without knowing.
Why though? Why does it matter?
Because I liked him a lot.
Mm-hmm. And so him stopping was what? I don't understand why you won't still be in relationship with me. I liked you. I wanted you. I was sharing myself with you. I thought we were doing something, and then you disappeared.
Well, okay. Well, let me say this. I think more so me thinking like when my mom passed and everything, and he and I were talking and we shared a lot of things and stuff like that. I guess I was thinking the relationship that I wanted to happen for us, you know, because by the time I came home from the service, I'm here all alone. I wanted to be coddled. I wanted to be like, okay, well, maybe I can just go ahead and just.
There you go.
You got it, Dr. Spirit.
Come on. You took it away from me. You took meeting my needs away. I need comfort. I need care. I need love. I need my steak, and you took it from me. I'm calling you trying to put my order in, and you won't answer.
You the chef.
You're the only place I know to get the steak.
Yep.
You're the only, I don't know where else to go. And I need this. I'm hurting. I'm grieving. I need to be satisfied. I need my steak. And then when you rolled up and he was like, ain't no restaurant here for you. You don't got no reservation. My restaurant is full. What are you doing here?
Because it has been months, like I said, that was in June. That was the 23rd of June. When I rolled up on him was like, September, was something like that.
She said when I rolled up on him.
Because she just been sitting, salivating, craving steak without getting a steak anywhere else. And so when you recognize that he is not the only steak in town and that his steak was actually full of poison that was messing up your microbiome, literally and physically, making you sick, and you decide, I want some whole organic USDA steak and I don't have to deal with poison to go and get it, then you will switch this thing up. But first, go do the grief work, not just of the loss of your mom, but the loss of him and the grief that exists in between that allowed you to ignore the inconsistencies when you saw him and you kept going forward because he was meeting the needs, and those needs were more important than the needs that you were willing to neglect and ignore. And then when it switched, all of a sudden it turns you into what you would say is the crazy woman, right? Because if you don't get this satisfied,
how can you move on to somebody else? Because now he's serious with
don't move on to nobody else. See, because you're still reading the reviews. You still paying attention. No. You know all about his new relationship. You know that he's serious. So you still reading the reviews at the restaurant. Stop looking for that restaurant. That restaurant serves up poison, girl. You got to go get detoxed and get the poison out your body. You got to get cleansed and get reset. And then you won't even crave that steak anymore. This is not a him thing. This is a you thing. And you were already having the poison there, which is why you couldn't taste the poison in the meat, because it was already familiar in the flavor. Okay. So when you start to do that work, everything else is going to change. And Pam, I'm telling you, the one that's out there for you, that's going to give you all the love and all the everything that you want is there, but you're not compatible with it yet. You got to go get healed so you can be compatible with the experience that you want to have and stop choosing these men that give you this lackluster poison love. Okay, we got to put the medicine in the candy and stop eating the poison.
Right, because I feel like I've given so much energy to that instead of grieving for my mom.
So then the guilt and the shame, but I want you to know it was 4 months and then you decided to add 4 more.
Honestly, I'm
half
really
half the time. I just want you to see half the time she's still fooling around.
First of all, I'm shocked that Pam and I know it's not him because to be this all in a brother in 4 months, it's nothing he did. It's literally
he was filling the cup. The cup was empty.
Right.
He was love bombing me.
And so since the cup was empty, all of that was filling her up. He came in hard and fast because whatever was being satisfied in him reenacting and using her mom as the surrogate for the loss that he hasn't dealt with, as soon as that went away and he just had to deal with Pam, he didn't want her anymore. He's like, I don't want to deal with you grieving. I wanted to deal with taking care of your mom. And what are the doctors saying? And oh boy, we got to worry. And oh, let me come over and cook. And oh, let me do the thing. He just latched onto your situation and unfortunately used you in some ways that you could no longer satisfy his needs anymore.
Wow.
Right? That's the trauma bond. So I won't even go into it enough, but how you guys lined up, it fed the need until it didn't.
And define that very quickly for us, because we throw these words around. We don't know what the hell they mean.
The trauma bond is where my toxicity, right? If this is me as a whole complete person and this is you, when we come into relationship, what's in the middle is the relationship that we create, right? How we line up, how we come together. She was meeting some needs for him. He was meeting some needs for her, but those needs were unhealthy and toxic. So it was a trauma bond. And then she could no longer keep up on her end because unfortunately what was feeding him was her ill mother. Once her mother passed, and it's like, you know what? It's like when people get into relationships where they're cheating they're having an affair, and then they wind up losing their primary relationship, and then they go into messing around with their mistress or with their man, and then all of a sudden the relationship falls apart. It's real easy when I only got to meet like 20% of your needs, but when I got to meet 100% and it's you got to do it all, it usually doesn't work.
I'm out of there.
Especially it's the needs I want to meet.
Come on, because I only need you to do this much, but now when I need you to do this much, I didn't choose you for that, so you're not going to be compatible with all of that.
That makes a lot of sense. Well, see, here's the thing with Pam. Pam is actually in the situation. I appreciate you coming up here, Pam, because a lot of ladies in your situation right now, because especially with Pam, that man called you tonight at 12 a.m. You riding over there. You
no
riding
problem.
over there.
No problem.
And so, Pam, when are you going to make the decision that you're going to be done with this brother?
I mean, I'm done now, but it's like I can't get
that
it out.
That would be
of
a
my
lie.
mind.
That would be a lie.
No. I can't get it out of my mind. I can't stop thinking about it. That's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to be done with it, and I'm trying to go to. I'm doing grief counseling for my mom, but I don't want to bring this situation in with those other people.
Oh, bring it. It's all connected. And when you say I'm trying to get it out of my mind, because you're a whole complete person, so your whole life story matters. When you omit pieces, you rob the therapist of being able to help you because they can't see the full picture or all the patterns. So don't omit any pieces of it. But the other part of this is when you say I can't get it out of my mind, you can't get it out of your mind because there's nowhere else where you're being fed and loved up on. So I want you to know that the needs that you have are your needs, and they are there all the time. So your brain is still going, so where are we going to get love from? Who's going to hold us tonight? Who's going to say something nice to us? Who's going to call us and check up on us? So until you start to fill yourself with healthy community, this is going to be your only option where your brain knows to go. You're not going to stop thinking about him until you get some healthy needs met in your life.
Right.
Okay. So we want to enhance your circle, sweetheart. Get some people that really love you, that you can feel safe and they trust you and you trust them.
I appreciate it.
Pam,
appreciate you, Pam.
Pam, you gonna give him that call?
Huh?
No, she don't need to call him. She don't need to nothing him. That restaurant is blown up.
So
it don't exist.
So women should. So good question. No. Women should not
just
call
walk away
and let them know. They should always.
The last time was the last time.
Wow.
Oh, so it's no closure. So no
closure. It was closed when he said he was done. She went to try to open it up by continuing the relationship.
There you have it.
He said what he said when he said it. Listen to what he said and believe him and recognize he does not deserve you. He used you, and you are worth more than being used. Full stop.
Right.
Honestly, that's actually a really good way to go about capping this off, because I don't know if ladies are clear. That whole closure conversation.
It's not just ladies, it's men too. Y'all be sitting up chasing women too. Y'all be heartbroken. No. That's a lie.
No. It's true. We actually just got an email from a gentleman about that. We'll probably say for another one. If it's any guys in the chat,
they be scared to come up,
especially
because
when
your manhood,
especially when it comes to this.
They do.
It's tied to the thing. Y'all,
I know.
Come up and talk about it, because y'all tied too.
That woman that's chasing down, can't let go of. She doing all kind of wild stuff, and you still won't stop dealing with her.
Coochie matized.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Talking about. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Come on.
Remember that crazy one I was dealing with?
Oh,
she's from New Orleans.
She wasn't crazy.
Oh,
she might have had some mental health issues, but I will say, y'all do say that the number of men that be like, Spirit, I couldn't walk away from it. It's the crazy women that got the good stuff.
It was just exciting. You just never knew what
might
happen.
Yeah.
If you knew what was really at the root of it, you would never touch it again. You wouldn't feel right touching it.
I agree. And it got to that point. It was so dangerous too. Like, just show up at your house. And
what you doing?
What you doing? What you doing?
I called you.
Don't be calling my house. And they say, we having
Ron was pissed and happy all at the same time.
I was.
Like, what you doing here?
Then what she tried to no, because then fall for it if you want to. All she gonna do is sleep with you, screw you until she push you to sleep, and then be all up in your phone, trying to make your eyes hit the thing, trying to make your finger hit because she trying to figure out exactly what you been doing that you ain't been calling me.
Those the ones that's
what's really going on.
And I think I told y'all on the show one time with the situation, guys, you got to call in, because I think the guy's story is off the chain. It was so toxic, Dr. Spirit, that
Oh, we got a brother backstage. Hey,
Good.
First of all, bring the brother up. Just keep him on mute real quick. But go ahead.
It was so toxic, Dr. Spirit, that I stopped dealing with her 1 week, and I invited another young lady to come in town and stay with me for the weekend.
week after?
Oh, you about to tell this
it
story?
was like the same week. It was like the same week.
Oh, we getting vulnerable, guys.
It was real crazy. I think I might have told on the show before. So I'm dealing with multiple women at a time, and this particular one.
Do they know? Do they know?
But yeah, I would say verbally that I'm dealing with multiple women. It would, I would not. It's no kind of verbal judo. It's very. I'm like, listen, I'm dealing with multiple women. It is kind of. It is what it is. But so I dealt with her at the top of the week. I had another young lady come for the weekend, and it was a Friday. Matter of fact, it might have been the Friday. I can't remember what Friday. It might have been a Friday we filmed with you, because I know we filmed with you on a Friday once.
You was holding after Dr. Spirit?
Right. That's
it didn't work. It didn't work.
Did you not learn
First off,
anything?
the episode wasn't about hoeing, okay? That wasn't what the episode was about. But anyway, I just remember, so I let the new young lady, let's say, I'll just say the girl's name, I mean.
No.
Okay.
First letter.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
Don't give her that life.
So I'm dealing with a L. I'm dealing with L. Okay, and then now I got C coming over for the weekend. Okay, so C comes over for the weekend. We have to film. It's during the day. It was a very busy day for me on Friday, and she's like, hey, I want to go hang out at the pool. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to give you my fob, because that's the only way you can get access to the pool. So I had to leave her at my house with the fob to get access to the pool.
No, you didn't have to, but keep going.
But I did, right?
He got the game backwards.
I got the game backwards. So we go, I'm out all day, I'm working all day. I come home, it's like 9 o'clock, and I text her. I'm like, hey, I'm home. Could you where you at? I need my key to get in the house. And she texts me. She's like, oh, I'm still hanging out at the pool. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, just meet me at my door, and then you can, go back to the pool. So she's like, hey, I'm with your girlfriend right now. And I'm like, for some reason it didn't hit me.
You didn't realize they was together. They done got their stories straight.
Right. She's like, with your girlfriend right now. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, text her back. I'm like, stop playing. Make sure, meet me at my door. I need to get in my house. And she's like, hey, I didn't say that we're dealing with each other.
I didn't piss on the tree.
And so don't mention that, we kind of doing stuff together, I'm like,
she about to set you
I
up
ain't
good.
really know what was happening. I still didn't understand what was happening. I said, and I was like, I'm like, hey, what's up, my key? You gonna bring my key or what? And she's like, we're coming downstairs.
Man.
Right.
You should have called 911 right at that moment.
I'm still not even understand. I'm just thinking it's like
don't play
like
games
this,
you don't understand the rules for.
That's
Do
what
not play games.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm still not understanding what's going on. So now, but I'm very agitated because I'm at my door waiting, and I'm like, yo, I want my key. I'm like hungry, And next thing you know, you hear the elevator like ding, and the door slide open, and I hear girl. And I'm like, and I'm all, because I got the corner unit, so I'm all the way in the hallway. It's like a big, I'm always in the hallway. And it was like, girl. And I'm like, damn, I know that ghetto ass voice. That's what I'm thinking. But the new chick, she was a white young lady, and she talked, talk like a white woman, I guess. I don't know how to better say that. I don't know how to not be a black person right now. She talked like a white woman. You're right. It's a white woman talk like a white woman. So I'm like, that don't sound like her. I'm like, but I know that voice, And then I hear a bunch of laughing, and I hear kind of just noise.
Some drunk women coming down.
Sound like some drunk women coming down. And I started walking close so I could see who coming off the elevator, and man, it was both of them.
She told
both of these women. And she's like, I'm like, I'm dead ass jaw dropped on the floor.
But why though? If you told them both and they knew, so y'all talk amongst yourselves, have a good time. Are we all going in together, or one of y'all leaving? What are we doing? But
that's what I said.
That's what all my boys said. I
was like, it's gonna be some ethical non-monogamy or what?
I mean, if y'all know about each other,
what's going down?
First off, when I shared this with two of my buddies, I haven't shared that many people, but my guys like, yo, was it they trying to have a threesome? And my thing is, I was so offended by it though. My first thought was offense.
That he missed out on a good threesome.
No, not about a threesome. I wasn't even thinking sex.
No, that's what I'm saying. You were so offended. You didn't figure out how to be able to work this situation.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, you gonna bring, especially because being at the top of the week. At the top of the week, I was already
think about women. I just can't.
But see, I was already offended by the woman, by the first L. And I was done. At the top of the week, I decided, I'm done with you. You too crazy. You coming off with this crazy stuff. You accusing me of cheating and doing this. I'm like, I don't even go with you. I'm not even with you. It's like we would have a great time, and at the end, she's like a Sour Patch Kid. It will be a great time. We sleep together. Then the next day, it's like I'm the enemy. It's like, how long are you gonna keep doing this to me, Ryan?
Oh.
I told my mom about you. I'm like, this girl is crazy. Like, I don't even.
He loved it. He loved every bit of it.
No, he
loved all that.
I told her on a Monday.
She was mad that he wouldn't commit. She was mad.
I told her on a Monday. I'm like, listen, this is over. Like, I don't want to have nothing to do with you. I'm not. And she just, I didn't tell you this. She lived in my neighborhood.
Oh,
she lived in my building.
Got the game all the way messed up.
She lived in my building.
Breaking every rule.
It was so toxic. So I'm like, you better take your ass back on the 9th floor. Don't ever come over here again. That was my attitude.
Oh, and you talking crazy?
So that was the last time. No, because she was nutting up. Yeah. So I had to match her energy. She had to match her energy.
Had to bring his devil out to match her devil.
You did not. You had to de-escalate.
Well, because she used to say stuff like, don't you know I'm crazy? Don't you know I'm from New Orleans?
This fits the Soul Tie episode.
That's what she say. Don't you know I'm from New Orleans? She used to say stuff like that.
She told you I'm not stable. Yeah, she said I'm not stable, and I'm from a culture where we do things to make things happen.
Right. And she just say stuff like, ain't nobody gonna do this to me again. She used to say stuff like that.
Again. So then she told you the trauma.
Right.
You missed all the flag.
Did
I not teach you anything?
No, Dr. Spirit, he wanted that toxicness.
I used to say, because I used to say to Ty, I used to say, man, this girl is so bad. This girl is so bad.
Yeah.
It fit the need.
And then he'll say, and I'm seeing her this weekend.
right. So I'm like, hey, what are y'all doing? And she's like, the girl, L, she's like, the black girl, she's like, I'm using the bathroom. What it look like I'm doing? I'm like, you using who bathroom? She's like, she does like one of these. And just walks right past me.
Oh, man.
Turns around, looks at the white young lady, and she's like,
you coming in, girl?
Yeah. She's like, girl, you got the key? And I'm just like, they both of them
mad
walking right past me.
Exactly what this is.
And I'm like, whoa. Where are y'all going? She's like, the white girl's like, are you really going to act like this when all she has to do is use the bathroom? And I'm like,
don't do it.
Yo, yeah. I'm getting it.
It's 2-on-1 now.
I'm getting gaslighted at my own spot. And I don't have my key. I'm like, all right.
In the show, I'm done.
So I'm like, I put my bag down, and I'm like all the way pretty much by the elevator. So they walk into, they were like halfway there. I put my bag down. I walk out. I'm like, hey, y'all are not going to my house. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe you acting like this. And now they're both literally cussing me out in the hallway and saying I'm tripping.
Yep.
Neighbor coming outside, people open their door. They are cussing me flat out. And now at this point, I'm like, okay, which one of these am I going to choose? Because one of these relationships has to be salvaged.
Which one of these toxic situations?
That's what I was thinking.
Acted
this
in
is the old me, Dr. Spear. I'm just being honest about the old me.
Come on. Which one am I gonna filter out?
Right. So gotta get Ryan ass right tonight.
I'm like, hey. So I look at. I got no commitment to the white young lady. She's new.
Why did you have to choose though if they already both knew about each other?
I don't know why I felt like I had to choose. I just felt like it was getting out of. Even though it wasn't.
Because he ain't got that player soul in him where he could just have them both.
He had them both. You mean at the same time?
That's what Tyshawn is saying. My thing was.
Yeah, because I was also in a world of sin. So when I heard the story, I'm like,
kicked them out. You kicked why?
You failed.
Right.
You failed.
Even my husband is like, you failed, bro.
And this is the thing. And I think I was just beyond it because they were both intoxicated. Mm-hmm. Everything was leading to it was something, and Dr. Spirit. This is why I kind of downside. Let me tell you, this apartment. When you walk in, you already the ladies already knew what was.
It was a panty dropper.
It was a panty dropper apartment. It's like Atlanta corner unit, top floor, sit on the floor windows, all size, huge, oversized apartment. No reason for one person to have that big of an apartment. So I kind of knew what was going on, but I just felt like they tried me. I felt like it was an unauthorized threesome.
So did you
opportunity.
feel violated? You
I
felt
feel violated,
vulnerable?
and I think it was because the conversation was so heated with the young lady at the top of the week that I'm like, this is kind of dangerous. You bringing this chick over, like I don't know what y'all talked about. I don't know what her motives are. I don't know if she sees your stuff in my room, if she's gonna flip. So I actually felt like this was a dangerous
So here we
situation.
go. It went from exciting to dangerous. Right. So different need there. So the need for protection became louder and more intense than the need for release and excitement.
Right.
Right.
So we go back and forth and changing some words.
That's the knife in the purse.
There you go. There you go.
So we go back to exchanging some words, right? And then the white young lady says, in front of the black girl.
She went from C to the white young lady.
I know
Go ahead,
this.
go ahead.
See, I'm trying to tell a story. She's like, I'm trying to help you out. And my response, Daughter Spirit, I'm so embarrassed about this. I said, how the hell you trying to help me out when I'm already fucking the both of y'all? That's what I said. That's what I said. And when I said that,
Cancel
my God.
Just stop.
It went so crazy. It went so crazy. It was so toxic. And I ended up kicking both of them out, the long story situation.
Good for you.
But I will say, though, I remember calling Ty, and I was laughing at this point because I waited till I cooled down. I called Ty and I was like, yo, like, bro, I'm done with this life. I was like, this is too crazy. And that was really like one of the
It was
first.
too close. It literally came to your doorstep.
He repented that
Yeah, it was really one of those situations where, and usually Ty be like, bro, you not done. You just gonna keep doing. But it was really like after that point, I really started to change my life. Like I stopped dealing with multiple women at once, which was a big deal. I went on abstinence. I think I went like 4-5 months abstinent because once you was disturbed like that mentally, I'm just like, I'm not ever having sex again. That's kind of what I was thinking.
The moral of the story, he broke the soul tie.
Yes.
Through a traumatic experience that caused him to have a paradigm shift.
There you go.
But it could have been. But see, my thing of telling people
Ryan's rock bottom story.
That's my that was really rock bottom. It doesn't have to be like that though.
Nope.
You don't have to, because that was potentially a dangerous situation.
People could have died that day. Multiple people.
And if I would have challenged their toxicness, and I would have doing like Tyshawn said, yeah, come over and everybody's drinking, because you don't know what that would have turned into. It could have turned into her having a knife and stabbing up somebody, let alone a threesome, right? Yeah, so the thing is, that's why I try to tell people, it doesn't, especially men, because I was so attracted to the toxicity of that relationship. Everything about it was so daring. It's like I didn't know what she would do next. It was very exciting. She would say crazy stuff. It get me, even when somebody speak, even when you having sex, these people are speaking crazy, like I love you and this and that, and it's like, all that was very exciting. Even the thought of it used to excite me. I used to have dreams about this woman and things that we was going to do and kind of thing. So it was really consuming me to where, she really could have probably did anything.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I was lucky enough to be in a sober mind state at that point to make a decision to kind of rid myself of these two relationships, because I have never communicated to either one of them since then, even though they was trying to get in contact with me.
And you got lucky. You know how many men are sitting there like, bro, I married mine.
Yep.
Ooh. Yo, I got a baby by mine. I can't, she
a
crazy baby mama. I can't get rid of this situation. There are people that can relate to that, because we get so drawn to the attraction and the intensity of the feelings and the chaos and the consuming parts of it that we don't realize that there is another way to get healthy love that looks totally different and would give us everything we want.
And it ain't a rock bottom. They ain't got a rock bottom story. They living a rock bottom life.
I agree with that.
Living a damn rock. As a matter of fact, we're going to end it on this one here because my brother's still backstage. Make sure you bring my brother here. We're going to heal up my brother, and then we're going to close out the night. I got my brother back here. Wait, first of all, my brother must be standing on business because he put his damn business name where it's at. Hanton Services. Put your damn name in.
He's like, damn,
I
forgot.
like that. That's why he let him know.
He's like, dang, I
unmute
forgot.
yourself, brother. I can't hear you. Unmute yourself.
He's like, man, I didn't. Now I'm going to be caught out there.
What's up with you, brother?
Man?
What's good? My name, so I go by Chucky.
Okay.
It's already out there. I'm going Chucky Hamilton.
Okay,
Chucky Hamilton. What's good, brother?
You sound like, okay. I like the name, Chucky Hamilton. That's a little smooth.
What's his Chucky?
Give me your age, your location, and your relationship status.
All right, so I'm 36. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm recently divorced.
How long ago?
30 days?
30 days?
Word, but we've been separated now for, I want to say, what, 10 months?
Okay. How long were you guys married?
We was married for 6 out of the 13.
6 out of, there we go. 13, 6.
The math is mathing tonight.
I'm just trying to tell you the science.
Wow. Okay. So, well, hold on, wait. So just so I understand, you was married, when you say 6 out of 13, y'all was in a relationship for 13 years and married for 6 years, right?
Correct.
And the divorce got finalized 30 days ago.
Probably, yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay. Okay, good. What's your question right now, brother?
Well, sure, I really don't know if I really got a question most of the part. My marriage, my son tripping me up sometimes, and you know how 3-year-olds read vibration. And so every time now I pull out my phone, he says, "Oh, daddy, you trying to cheat?"
Wow.
What is it doing to you? I can see it on you.
Well, it's messing me up because I grew up without my mother in the household, and I grew up in a bachelor household, and I didn't spend a lot of time with my mother. So when I had my 2 daughters in high school, I had explained to my wife that I didn't really want to have any more children because I didn't want to have a separated household. I was scared of that. And then she said she wanted to have children, so I was like, I was open to it. So we did it. And I tried everything I could to work it out, but then in the process of that, I'm starting businesses to provide for the family, and then I had gotten into some financial trouble. And my wife was like, "I'm lonely." And I said, "Well, I explained to you I got into some legal trouble, and I need to focus on the business at this moment." And one of the things that I had noticed, I was doing a lot of studying. My wife was going to school, and so I knew that if we was to have sex, that she was getting tired. And then she was doing just about everything for the kids because I was working. So, and to save for my family, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna cut back on my sex drive so I won't take away from the family. And then I started focusing more on work, but I didn't know how to show enough affection in other ways. Yeah. And then my wife was like, "Oh, well, I want to help." So I was like, "Okay, well, here go these list of books. How to read these books, and you come help me run my business." So she's like, "Well, I'm not doing that." So she always kept telling me that I was being controlling. And then we had put cameras in the house to keep up with the kids. So while I was at work, I would check on the crib, and I'm like, "Well, you sitting on the phone all the time with your people. Why are you not taking care of the crib?" I just asked, "Can I come home to a decent household and the kids are taken care of?" And I started resenting her for that, and I just dove into work. And like day and night for like 3 months straight, I was just working. I was on the couch, I come to bed a little bit, on the couch working, or out in the field working.
You didn't get married to get divorced, and it's killing you now. Is it?
No,
let me ask you this. I know that you guys are 30 days divorced, but I have met many a couple that have, and you know, a legal divorce is not an emotional divorce. I have met many a couple that have gotten divorced and found themselves back together. Can this relationship be salvaged?
It can be. I believe she has to get out her own way.
Well, it's not just her.
I mean, me too. I'm not saying all on. I'm not putting all on her.
No, and I will say this, and when I say not just her, it's because there's 3 parts here. There's you, there's your ex-wife, and there's the relationship. And it took both of you to get the relationship to where it was. It would take both of you guys to get the relationship to a healthy place. And what I hear is 2 people who were trying to do all of the right things, but wound up doing the wrong things for the right reasons. And so it led you guys into a place that you didn't know how to get yourselves out of. And then we just get resentful of each other because you guys thought each other was the problem, when the problems were the problem and you guys didn't have the right solutions.
Right.
Did you guys ever go to marriage counseling?
No, we did not go to marriage counseling.
Yeah. I wonder what it might look like. You got that nice jacket on. I don't know where you working at, but you know, if you got some EAP, some employee assistance program benefits, or if your wife got some benefits, whether you choose to reconcile and become married again, or whether you guys stay divorced, you guys are always going to be a family. You're just a family in two separate households right now, and you don't want to create the same trauma cycle, and you haven't healed the trauma cycle of your own parenting story, and you don't want to repeat the same cycle for your son. It's killing you, and his stuff is now triggering your stuff. So every time he says, Daddy, you cheating, and Mom is not here, and all that, you can't even be present for his pain because he's bringing up so much of your own. I wonder what it would look like for you to get the healing that you deserve so that you don't repeat the cycle. No matter what direction you guys go in, you can disrupt this pattern, and you really need and want to.
Right. Well, I started back going to church. I had stopped for a while. I got consumed in the work, and one of the things that I messed up on is that I started putting work before God.
I want you to go to church and therapy. I want you to go to church and therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to go to church and therapy. You can have Jesus and a therapist.
That's true.
Listen, when Jesus was in the wilderness for the 40 days and 40 nights, he was crying. Who was he crying out to? His father, his counselor. Okay, you need a place to be able to cry out. The church is where you go to get spiritually fed. It's where you go to get the lessons. It's where you go to get the word and the rules and the covenant, and to understand how to get into covenant and stay in covenant. But if you don't heal, you're not going to hear the word properly. You're not going to apply the word properly. You're not going to have the coping strategies that you need to really maximize that relationship either. You're going to be so trauma-filled that all of it is going to fall. You're not going to get the parenting skills. You're not going to get the co-parenting skills. You're not going to get the healing that you need for the little boy in you that's crying out, that's traumatized too. So you can do all of it. Feed yourself in all the areas, not just financial health, but spiritual health, mental health, emotional health, psychological health, physical health, right? You can do all of it. You don't have to prioritize or throw any part of it out. You're a whole, complete person. You deserve whole, complete healness, whole, complete wellness, and your child deserves that from you too. Lead this family. Lead it.
It's very important for me for that. I mean, because I have to teach my boys. I don't want my boys to go through the same generational stuff that I went through.
Yeah, but you can't give your boys what you don't have. And if you don't have healing, how do you give them that? Okay, so if they're worth it to you, if you want them to have that, get it for yourself so you can model it and you can show them the way.
Yes, ma'am.
If you need anything, you let me know. I can try to figure out how to get you connected, okay? I know some good men that can help you walk the path.
Man.
Definitely.
First of all, Big Dog, thank you for coming up here and representing the fellas tonight, man. I really do appreciate that, because I'm not sure if we inspired you, but I know it's some brothers that send us emails and they backstage and they got problems too.
Come on, we all do.
The ladies are usually the loudest in the chat, in the comments, willing to come up. But my brothers, I really want us to, just like Dr. Spirit is saying, like really get this game, like really heal, really handle our shit.
Yes.
Like not bury it, not be afraid or shy, because, you know, at the end of the day, man, there's really no way around. He talks about he got his his sons.
Yes.
And these young men.
And his daughters.
Who are watching him.
Right.
His daughters. Right. You are literally setting the example.
Listen,
you know?
and as women, we need to hear men say, it's tearing me up not to have my family. I want my wife.
That is
it's
true.
tearing me up to not be able to have my son have an experience. I didn't get married to get divorced. I want to be able to do this. I want to get myself together. I want to heal. I want to be the head of my household. Women want strong, healthy men. We love you. We care about you. We want to be in relationship with you. We want to submit to you. We want to come up under you. We want to know you got us. We want to be in the soft place. We want to be in covenant as it was intended. But we can't break a soul tie with you if you don't break a soul tie with your own toxicity, because we gonna chase after you, because what does it say? That we come from you. We come from your rib. We are always gonna be in pursuit and chasing you so that we can two become one.
Damn.
Whew, that's gonna be what it is.
the problem, one of the problems is that y'all mentioned before is that our community doesn't support each other enough for men to speak up, and we think we are less of a man.
Yes.
To speak up, and then a lot of times we speak up in the wrong environment, and then the other men around us would take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm. That's why you need the safety of therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
You need that, and you need to see what it looks like for a man to model for you that what masculinity is, the ultimate masculinity, is being whole, being confident in yourself, being connected to your whole self, and being connected with your Father, your Creator.
Yes,
once you get that in alignment, everything else comes after.
Yes, ma'am. I had some very good brothers around me that helped me through it. It was tough. It was tough, and I was one of the brothers. I had drove to her apartment one day and told him, like, yo, he gotta go.
Yep. Well, let me say this.
Wow.
Because you still feel it, right? Because that's your home. That's your woman. That's your family. That's your future. And this person is standing in the way. And you talk about dangerous and volatile.
That's
when
dangerous.
men get into those spaces, right?
Man.
Violence.
Everybody can lose that day.
Yeah.
Right? And your family needs you. But I will say this. When you say you've been with some good men and they helped you through it, I want you to recognize they help you through part of it. But you are still very much in it. And when you are going through hell, go faster. When you are going through hell, keep going. Do not get stuck in it, and don't fool yourself into thinking that it's behind you. You are still in the fire. Get oriented to where you are so you can get the hell out.
That is such a bar, Dr. Spirit.
Yeah.
When you are going through hell, go faster.
Go faster.
Damn.
Hell yeah, go. Hurry up. What do you got to do? What is the lesson here? If it's all working for your good, how do you figure it out so that you can be empowered, so you can get the qualification, you can leave the lesson behind, and you can go and complete your assignment?
Damn, that was
Period.
so good.
Period. When you understand what it's all for, then you will hold your shoulders back. You will hold your head up high. You will get very clear. Figure out how to hear the word, hear the assignment, and know what you are supposed to be doing. Your steps are guided. He does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. What are you being qualified to do? Period.
Man, brother, first of all, thank you so much for coming up here, brother.
Drop courage in the chat. Because this brother went crazy.
Drop courage in the chat for my brother right here.
And really gave us a real life perspective from a man and what a lot of us going through.
Yeah, and listen, if you need anything, bro, info@hardlyinitiated.com. We got a lot of tools. We got a lot of resources. We got a lot of relationships. So we could point you in the right direction. We could put you in touch with who you need to be in touch. Listen, whatever you need, ask.
I agree.
Don't be shy. Just
ask and you shall receive.
Ask and you shall receive. First of all, look. She in the word tonight. The spirit is in the spirit tonight.
The doors. I know some things about some things.
Let's go ahead and read these super chats before we get up out of here, Ryan.
I got you. Shout out to all the new initiates joining. Shout out to Anna Dominique says, what's your take on adultery scripture after an uneligible divorce and marrying a divorce?
Well, it depends on what scriptures that
Divorcee,
you're looking at.
Divorcee.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it depends on what scriptures that you're looking at, and it depends on what you and your partner are trying to do. It really differs. What one person is reading, somebody else is reading something totally different and on a totally different walk. The question is, why does that answer matter to you? Because you already know what you're trying to do. You don't need permission to try to figure out how to fit and make it work. What is the goal? Are you guys in alignment? Do you know what you need to get there? Let's go.
Let's go.
There you have it.
Shout out to Fortunately Favored 70 says, hey guys, love the show. Was wondering if Dr. Spirit is accepting any new clients. If so, is Zoom an option? I currently reside in Michigan.
So that's a complicated question.
Oh yeah, it is.
So I am not accepting any new clients in my regular practice. However, I do have an after hours clinic. So, you can drop by and see me once or a few dozen times, depending on what you need. We can make it work.
Let me tell you, Dr. Spirit got a 3-year lineup right now. It's like the line is
Are we at
back.
3? That's better then.
Listen, let me tell you something. It's going to be hard to get this sister here. She's powerful, and everybody already knows she's powerful, and they're in line to get some of that power.
Whatever, but you know what? But I will have people that will call tomorrow and be able to get an appointment. I'm gonna open up the after hours for your folks.
Shoot your shot, baby. Shoot your shot, baby.
I'll open up after hours for them. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday.
Tomorrow's
It might be a long weekend, but y'all call me.
Y'all better get it popping.
It's soul time week, baby. We need it.
We need to let something loose. Shout out to Pele. She says, how do I get out of my own way so I stop feeling like my therapist is criticizing me so I can hear what she's saying? That's a great question.
Tell her every time that you feel criticized, because that interaction there is actually what's going to get you out of your own way. You got to be able to tolerate the feeling. You got to be able to process the feeling. You got to be able to listen to it and figure out, where do you feel that in your body? Is it in your chest? Is it in your head? Is it in your back? Is it in your heart? Where do you feel it? Because all she's doing is touching something that already exists. Get to the root of it, root it out, and it will change, but stay with it.
Great question, Pele. And shout out to Judah Sakala, another one of our purple badges in the Harley Initiated family. She says, let them go, Pam. Focus on grieving your mama, then your self-care. Good luck. I like that,
And
Pam.
she just sent one in, too. Judith. I'll read it. You can't see it.
Go ahead.
We'll be gifting some memberships next episode, so please give one to Pam.
See if she can get one to Pam, one of those memberships.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Tiffany Buckner is going to be going crazy on the next episode, Soul Ties Chronicles Part 3. And we're really talking about the spirituality behind the soul tie. Today, everything psychology today, which was excellent.
Oh, yeah. It's going to get deep, guys. That's Monday, and that's going to be the finale. So y'all stay tuned in here. And by the way, also info at Harley Initiated. You got a story that you want us to share on the next episode. Make sure you send it over to us. I am so pleased with this episode because Dr. Spirit came in and Dr. Spirit do what Dr. Spirit does.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dr. Spirit, for putting us in your after hour schedule
It's
here.
always my pleasure. Let's do it. Let's go. I tell you, I'm going to come anytime. Look, I would say every time you call me, but I don't know when or where. So just keep calling me and let's make it work.
And I'm going to keep calling.
Keep calling.
I'm going to keep calling.
Keep calling.
That's what I'm going to do.
Let's do the mixer. Springtime is going to come. Birds and the bees.
I would love to do that with you.
So, God, what y'all think about the mixer, the HI Dr. Spirit mixer collab, the singles mixer?
Only if you're trying to get married, because I make people for forever.
Oh,
yeah.
This ticket's already sold out. Already
Them
sold
tickets
out.
is already sold out. They've been asking us. We have never done an in-person event here in Atlanta. They are waiting. The people are waiting. They ripe and
I
they
love
ready
that.
for it. So that's actually an incredible idea. Let us know your thoughts on that one. Family, thank you so much for tuning in here. Y'all know Monday and Wednesday, every Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We bringing it to you guys the best way we know how. Get your Hardly in Love cards here. These here are especially for you guys. I want the connections. I want the relationships. I want your date nights, your game nights, your family nights, your relationship nights
I want
to
all
pop
of
off the right way.
They really do set it off. Like in any occasion, we always take these things, whether it's party, family affair, it doesn't matter. We outside picnicking. We always got the cards, and they always work.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this. How do the people get in contact with you, Dr. Spirit? What they got to do?
They can find me at Talk to Spirit everywhere. Oh, and tomorrow, well, I know that this is going to be evergreen at some point, but tomorrow is World Mental Health Day, and our nonprofit is launching tomorrow. So they can come to T2S Cares as well. T2S Cares. And CARES stands for Creating Access Responsibly for Everyone Sustainably.
Yes.
So we're trying to get folks well all over the world. So
wow.
Talk to Spirit everywhere. Come on, talk the number 2 Spirit.
First of all,
Come on.
Dr. Spirit is literally
It's gonna be playing all night,
my
man.
favorite therapist. I just love you
Ever.
so much, Dr. Spirit.
I love you.
Like you could tell when people really practicing, and that's no diss to the other. We've had some phenomenal people on the show, no diss. But man, like just your range on where you can go and where you can take these conversations is just absolutely incredible. So I
live
thank
for
you.
this.
Yeah.
I can tell.
This is what I was designed for. This is my assignment.
You
I
can
want y'all
tell.
to go on our channel too and type in Dr. Spirit, because Dr. Spirit has done some classic episodes.
Yeah.
I think this is the
third episode.
third episode.
What? Oh no.
It's the third or fourth episode with you, Dr. Spirit.
Fourth.
Wow.
Fourth. This is
I
the
don't
fourth
know. I just
episode.
come. Y'all
the fourth
call me, I
episode
come.
that she came on.
My absolute favorite is the forgiveness episode.
Oh, that was so powerful.
That was crazy.
It was so powerful. The live coach we've never done. We did couples counseling.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
did
we
couples
First off,
counseling.
it should be thousands of more views on that one because that was incredible.
Man,
that was incredible.
It was deep. It was
and
deep.
The family, the holiday episode we did.
Oh man, family drama on the holidays, and that
Yeah.
it was oh man. So y'all make
Was
sure y'all
that
go
the
ahead.
man with the bisexual man?
That was
with
the
the
couples.
wife?
That was the couples. The
Yeah.
couples episode.
Okay.
Go watch all of Dr. Spirit's episodes.
Yeah.
I don't care where you at in life.
Yeah,
It's
let's
relevant.
we'll make a playlist. Just Dr. Spirit
Okay.
playlist.
We're gonna
We'll
make
put
the
that on
Dr.
the front
Spirit
page of
playlist.
YouTube. Yeah.
And we're gonna make sure y'all
appreciate
go ahead and watch that. Okay.
Heal
Very
the
important.
people. Heal the people.
Heal
Heal
the
the people.
people.
Period.
And best what? If y'all want to heal us, Lano, pull up that damn donation link right here because this is how y'all make sure y'all keep us going. You guys are always asking how to invest and support us. Here's how you do it, family.
Right.
This is how you sow your seed. Me and Ryan, we
This is-
full time in the game as well. So
Exactly.
we have found our purpose as well, y'all.
This is no joke. Like there will be days where Tarshawn and I will work, 12, 13 hours straight on trying to figure out the best things for the show. And we will come up on it, and I'm like, yo, let's get something to eat. And Ty's like, no, we got no time to go get something to eat. He's like, no time to eat. He's like, we need to order something. And I'll be like, let me see if some donations came in.
Facts.
Okay, looks like we can do an order in today.
We did, that is.
So the donations come in clutch, guys. I kid you not. We use those. They really get invested into our stomachs, so we can then invest into the show.
Right, you can't do this. You can't do this part if they don't do their part.
Man, let me tell y'all. So I appreciate y'all support, y'all. Anybody that has a deck, anybody that bought a Fight the Flesh bracelet, anybody that went ahead and sent us over any level of a donation, I appreciate you guys. We love you guys, and that's why we motivated to keep doing what we're doing. We're gonna keep healing our brothers and sisters because y'all see what's happening. I need you to subscribe, guys. That continues to also help us grow. That's the cheapest way to support the platform. Just hit the subscribe button and make sure you tune in Monday and every other Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. But
We're here.
Y'all know how we do it. Hardly initiated. We are out.